Yeah.
Mine's working now.
Oh, good stuff. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to I was going to say a hate along, but it's not really that.
No,
That's just
a love along.
A love
along. Even weirder.
We've got Joe in the bottom corner, but look at this. If you guys have not seen this before, look at that.
Here he is. That's what you want. Tell Connor that's what you want. You want me in the big screen.
Look at that. The bloody money shot. Yeah, everybody, welcome back. Joe has kindly joined us. He had his little day off. He had his day off when we're doing the...
You say day off. I was actually in work. That was the problem as to why I couldn't do it. And it's the same issue again tomorrow. But yeah, obviously, love doing these. So always glad to do it. Although this game, I'm not really excited about it. I don't know about you lot. I'm not excited about this game at all. It's a done deal. Done deal.
Yeah, it's a bit boring, isn't it? It's like, I don't know. I was kind of a little bit like, do you know what? What'll happen is we'll get to a period where we've actually got a game on our... I can't remember ever having like such little on the line. There's literally nothing on the line, is there, for this game? It's like, when I say on the line, I mean like you just can't see Bristol City coming back. The best player sent off.
Yeah. Is their top scorer on the bench as well? I mean, I'm sure we'll go into teams in a little bit, but I think I saw that their top scorer was on the bench. They've brought Scott Twine in. So the only thing that I'm interested in now is hopefully seeing Scott Twine do well. But yeah, there's nothing on the line. Sheffield United will win this match. They're already through. No matter what, well, obviously not no matter what happens tonight. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's going to happen. It'll be a comfortable Blades win tonight, and Bristol City will be in the Championship again next season.
Yeah. Scott says, got a horrid feeling about tonight, Scott.
Come on, Scott.
I don't know why, mate.
Scott.
Good to see Joe dragging you down the lateness of the promoter.
Mate, I get bullied about being late, and I'm not late. I'm getting bullied down on other people's channels about being late. It winds me up.
Good evening. What a beautiful evening it is. What have you got there? Have you got like a milky coffee? What is it?
It's just a brew, mate. It's just I made it because I normally have a brew when I start streaming. Just kind of like muscle memory. I've got into the habit of just making a brew before a stream. And as soon as I sat here, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. It's far too hot for a brew.
Right.
But I'm powering through, mate.
But whilst I waffle on about the teams, you're going to share this stream to all of your followers, aren't you, mate? Because we need to get your beautiful...
Yeah, my thousands and thousands of followers.
We
desperately need my followers on this.
It also looks like we've just got changed together.
I was thinking that earlier. I'm like, I'm going to look like I'm wearing pajamas. But when I saw you wearing a white t-shirt, I'm like,
where's yours from?
Just Primark, I think. Cheap and cheerful, mate. Nothing special. Let me guess. Yours is Vivian Westwood or something like that, isn't it?
Mate, it's Sainsbury's actually. Sainsbury's.
There you go. It's a bit better than Primark.
Sorry, is that premium wear? Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You might as well have said you shop at Waitrose, mate.
Two for £8 it was, because I thought all I end up doing with white t-shirts, because white t-shirts are brilliant. They go with everything, but the problem is I would just spill something down it. So that's my big issue, just clumsy. Right, well, if you haven't joined us anyway on one of these before, or join myself, Joe has been a contributor for the last game, which was great. We normally just try get this siphoned off together. In terms of just timings, this really legal stream we've got going on now is saying that it's not finding, it's not secure apparently all of a sudden, which is slightly worrying for my laptop, but there we go. Baz has said, well done, Connor. Only Leeds Bro says, evening, lads. Hello, my friend. How's it going? Good evening, gents. Hope you're well. Are indeed Sid. Evening, Connor and Joe. Hello. How are you feeling, by the way, after Sunderland's win the other night? Scott says, Sheffield United, we always find it a way of making it difficult for ourselves. I think City scored first and Wilder goes interesting, the team. I thought, to be honest, they'd have gone, I don't know, I think they'd go a little bit more conservative? It's full strength, really. And I mean, Brooks comes in, obviously, after his goal. I've still got it out of the CBS, which I need to change. Brooks comes in 4-4-2, and Tom Cannon as well. 10 million, Tom Cannon, Joe.
Scored against Burnley, so he's obviously got something about him because not many people have this season. And to be fair, he took that the goal, very, very well. But yeah, that's full strength. And to be fair, I kind of expected it. I feel like if you're resting, I know they're through, and in my opinion, I do think they're through, and they'll win very comfortably. I'm not sure what Ash is smoking there, to be honest, with that prediction. But if you're resting people in the playoffs and stuff, it's not going to happen. You need to build momentum, and I think Blades win on the night and win, obviously going through as well. 2-0 Blades. Go back to their professional performances from earlier in the season where they just don't do anything and win 2-0.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit. I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed by it to an extent. Are you? I mean, you kind of want these playoffs to be a bit of a humdinger. I'm kind of looking at obviously the Sunderland game tomorrow and thinking that's going to be a real fixture. I mean, don't know if you caught any of it, but it was really 50-50. But Sunderland just had the edge. It was a much better Sunderland side, a Sunderland team of which me and you have experienced, obviously playing against. I thought they looked good.
Yeah, we did say, didn't we? Going into the sort of when we were doing the previews for the playoffs with Jimmy, like we're not sure what Sunderland's going to turn up. Sunderland are going into it bang out of form, playing a Coventry side that probably the most informed team going into the playoffs. Not many teams were in form, to be fair. But Sunderland were fantastic. They just sat back, soaked up all the pressure and hit them on the counter. I managed to catch the second half. So I was very impressed with them. And that's what you need to do. Sometimes you need to give up possession. Sometimes you need to let the other team have the ball. And I think Reggie Labrie got it spot on. And I've seen, obviously, a lot of people criticising the style of play. Mainly Coventry fans who are obviously a little bit annoyed at how the game went, which I guess is to be expected. But
I don't think
Sunderland got it spot on.
I don't think Sunderland just sat, though. I don't think they just sat behind.
No, they didn't sit and do a low block, but they let Coventry have the ball, didn't they? Yeah. They let Coventry have the ball and said, right, we will let you do it, and then we will counter-attack you. And that's exactly what they did. I think they had, like, what was it, 25% possession, something like that. And it was absolutely spot on from Reggie Labrie. And we've said it before, haven't we, that he's one of, if not the best manager in the league. And I think he showed it again the other night.
Yeah, you're a big fan of him, aren't you? You're a big
fan.
I
love him. I love him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely in conversation to be manager of the season, but obviously it's now gone to the genius Scotty Parker. Both Sheffield United and Sunderland going 4-4-2 seemingly worked well to contain the attacks and control where they want the ball. Yeah, it was interesting. They've done it before. Sunderland done the 4-4-2 before against Sheffield United. I thought they were a better team that night, Scott, if I'm honest with you, that night at the Stadium of Light. And just from the Leeds game onwards, they've just absolutely melted. Danny says not being cocky, but waiting to see who we play. Looking forward to playing United. Do you know what, Danny? I would not be writing. You lot should know as well with your record against Coventry.
I was just going to say, who does Danny support? I didn't realise, but
Frank Lampard in the playoffs, of which I know all about. He was at a deficit when he came back with that Derby team as well. I don't want to put too many oohs and ers about it, but yeah, just I mean, it's one goal in it, Joe. It's just the one.
It's only half time. It's definitely not done, but Sunderland are in a brilliant position at the minute. And another stat, I know you've just then reeled off some stats that go the other way, but another stat that I like is that Sheffield United, Sunderland have never lost a home playoff game in their history. And obviously Sunderland have got to lose a home game in their history to not make it to Wembley now. I think it's going to be Blaze Sunderland final, and that is the final. That is the best final of our all four teams, and I'm looking forward to if it is. I think Sunderland win. It's not a done deal, and Coventry will come at them and will open up and will attack them. It's going to be such a good game tomorrow. I'm genuinely looking forward to tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I'll have to listen to it on the drive home and then watch the second half, but it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it will be. It definitely will be. Sold out, so should be a cracking night, says Danny. If Coventry stay down, we need to go in for Rodoni. If Brownhill leaves, not a bad shout, that, mate. Rodoni's a right player. I think
I'd have Rodoni.
So yeah, Sunderland contained him pretty well, I thought. And then towards the sort of back, sort of last 20, 25 minutes, he started getting into it a little bit more. And you started seeing Coventry look a little bit more inventive. He's a good player. I don't know if Is he Premier League level? I think this is where we need to start looking now, don't we? We need to start looking, obviously, as a Burnley and Leeds fan, it's very much like, who's going to make the cut? Can you just go for the best players in the Championship? You've got to, I think kind of how I'm looking at it right now is maybe there's a couple who can make that transition into some of the clubs, obviously, in this chat, whoever you support. It'll be a similar vibe, it'll be can we bridge the gap, really. But my level as a Leeds fan right now, Joe, is looking at it and thinking, have these players played in the top level before and been successful? It doesn't have to be for English Premier League content. It doesn't have to be that. But I'm talking about Ligue 1, I'm talking about Bundesliga, I'm talking about La Liga. Have they played in the top league before and been relatively successful for something to build on? I think just Championship, like someone like Radoni, for example, it is a massive risk for the amount of money, let's say, even a Coventry are going to be asking for.
Yeah, as good as he is, I think Coventry will be asking for quite a lot of money. And I do agree with what you're saying there. They're going to need to. You're going to need a lot of people that have experienced the Premier League before, or have shown that they can do it at the top level. I think the spine of your team is going to have to be something like that. And then you will have some luxury players in there like your Radonis who probably could come in. But on the flip side of it, you've got players coming up from the Championship who will feel like they have a point to prove. Will feel like they've got some hunger inside them. But obviously, Leeds have been linked with the players like Beto and stuff like that. Obviously, I've not been on top of all your links and stuff. And we got linked with, is it Fabio Silva today? The lad previously at Wolves on loan at Las Palmas.
Yeah, he's done all right. Isn't he partnering McBurney?
Is it? I'm not sure, but he's done quite well at Las Palmas, but he's not done too well recently at Wolves, has he? So be interesting. I remember when he came through the ranks, he was seen as the next big thing, weren't he? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure we'll get that over the line. But again, it's that stage of the season now, isn't it, or pre-season, where there's just so many links coming out. You don't know what's what. You don't know what's legit. So yeah, we'll have to see obviously what both teams do.
Big Girls Really Do Cry says, many Cov fans says they slaughtered us and both the goals were lucky. The way Meander read the pass back was fab. Cov had exactly the same shots on target. Frank Lampard was dumbfounded. Yeah, I thought it was an equal game. I thought it was a neutral. I didn't think there was much in it at all, to be honest with you. But I did think for the first time in a long time, Sunderland looked like a real threat on that counter-attack. Meander's a good player, mate. I think I said on the stream, I said, if they keep hold of him, let's say worst case scenario, they are in the Championship next season, I've got a feeling Isidore will leave, but if they keep hold of Meander, he's going to be like the top scorer in the Championship, mate. He's a right player. He's so quick and he was such a danger for Sunderland throughout, really. He's a good player.
Yeah, I agree. They've got some good forwards. Obviously, Isidore, brilliant as well. Can't take a penalty, but other than that, they've got some really good forwards, and I thought he did brilliantly. Like you said, he's got pace, he's got power. Young as well. So they've got some good forwards.
Go on then, lad. What's your score prediction for tonight?
Score prediction for tonight: professional 2-0 job for the Blades. Obviously, that means 5-0 on aggregate. I just can't see Bristol getting anything. I think they'll be still gutted from the first leg with the way everything happened. I still feel like it's a red card. I'm sorry. I've seen it a million times since.
We should talk about that, shouldn't we? It's bizarre, that, wasn't it?
I don't understand where all this hoo-ha has come about it and all the stuff. People were in the stream, weren't they, saying, oh, well, it's the double jeopardy rule. He's not made a genuine attempt to win the ball, in my opinion, until he's dragged him down, which is the foul. That's the bit where he's been sent off for, and then he wins the ball after he's been dragged down. That's not a genuine attempt to win the ball. It's a red card all day long and a penalty. The referee got it spot on. Yeah,
people were talking about this like double jeopardy rule, and I'm just a little bit like, well, okay, we can talk about this. We can, level it out as much as we want. Rob Dickie has got both of his hands around Kiefer Moore as Kiefer Moore is about to, have a shot on target, arguably, or slot the ball either side of the goalkeeper. I didn't understand it at all. It's a little bit like, oh, well, he can't be sent off. It's like, well, yeah, it's last man. It's always been that rule. It was bizarre to me, to be honest with you. And Rob Dickie deserved. It's poor defending. It's a simple thing.
It's awful.
It's basic to defend as well, isn't it? It was a throw in, and it was knocked on, and he just Kiefer Moore to split the centre backs. It was really poor defending. So.
Poor defending, poor challenge, and like I said, I feel like the hoo-ha over the decision has just been blown out of proportion. Bristol City even appealed it, didn't they? I thought that was bizarre. I thought it was ridiculous. Red card all day long.
I didn't think they looked that good either. I know we were watching it. I didn't think they looked great. Bristol City. I was disappointed with Bristol City, if I'm honest with you. Especially after that.
To be fair, up until that bit, I thought it was relatively even.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought potentially Blades just on top. They weren't running away with it, but then that really killed. Because remember, they hit the bar, Bristol City. I know Blades did have the better chances, and Blades were the better team. Yeah. But I would say it was quite even. But Blades only just edging it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Andre says, why is he so small? Justice for Turfcast. Here we go. There you go.
Cheers, Andre. Thank you for that, mate. He swaps me in and out every time. People fancy a money shot.
Yeah, can we get a Justice for Connor now? I'm down here. Matty says, who do you think will be the best team to come up with us to give Leeds and Burnley the best chance of staying up? Matty, was I out with you the other day, mate? Let me know. At the parade, I can't remember. It's either 15 other Matty Harrisons who I meant. Honestly, Joe, the amount of Matties I met on that day was unbelievable. Everyone's called Matty.
I always feel like Matty's quite a popular name for our generation, isn't it? I know I'm slightly older than you, but even at my primary school, there was like 100 Matties in there and like 100 Thomases and things like that. It's always been a popular name. So if you met quite a few Matty Harrisons, that would be some achievement.
There's two at school. That was another one. Bristol City have been terrible for over a month now. You have tipped Sunderland most of the season, even for the top two at one point, Connor. Are they your pick to go up? It's a really good question. I think they will get through. And then it's 50-50. Genuinely, I think it's 50-50 between them and Sheffield. If Sheffield obviously do get past this. Right, they're about to come out, aren't they, Joe? I think you'll be on the same bit as me, mate, on our very legal.
Hopefully we can sort the stream out and make sure our perfectly legal streams are on the right time when the clock comes up. But just walking out now.
Yeah, and just so you guys know that the Money Shot McGilligan is going to be the main screen. So sorry about that.
Andre's going to be fuming. I don't know
if it's Andre or Andres. I think it's Andres. We're making him out like he's Andre the Giant. Yeah, let's look at the blades there. Look at that, eh? What a club.
What's happened to top tier at other end though? Have they given it all to Bristol?
Oh yeah, there's no one
there. That's all. You've got the home fans in there, haven't you?
Oh my God, is that
all to Bristol City? That looks poor. It's poor from Bristol City, if that's the case.
Oh God, that is, isn't it? That's really poor. My God, I've never seen it like that. That is really bad.
That's awful.
God. Jim Bob has got Man Mountain doing the watch-along solo. What a scumbag he is.
I know, yeah. Jimmy just goes off to box at Bramall Lane, eating caviar. Eat on Man Mountain. You look after my channel for me.
Poor Man Mountain. That's a shock.
Didn't get a ticket, then has to do watch-along.
You were, mate. Yes. Cheers, Matty. That's what it was. You on the George Baldock bit now, mate?
It's just showing it, yeah. Now it's showing a man in a bucket hat clapping a Bristol City fan.
Oh, God, I think you're a little bit ahead of me. That's annoying. On our perfectly legal stream.
Give it a refresh. I won't touch mine because it took forever to come on earlier.
Yeah.
Paul says, was that the Bristol City end that was empty? I think so. That's normally the home end. I'm not sure how they've done the away end tonight. At Bramall Lane, obviously, it's normally the lower tier that's for the home fans and the upper tier. Sorry, lower tier for the away fans, upper tier for the home fans. But I'm not sure they've given it all to Bristol City, like the full stand.
It was a bit mad, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, poor that.
So, yeah, it looks like it's 4-3-3, apparently, according to Sky. They've got Hamer as a left side of a front three, which I don't think that's how it'll be. Jack Robinson retaining his place. Jack Robinson at Wembley, by the way, that has got hallmarks of a big mistake on it. Jack Robinson against the Isidore on the ender is a bit of a problem if they get through in it.
Yeah, I've said it several times, and when Burnley look like they might be in the playoffs, I've said Sunderland were the team that worry me. They've got pace, they've got power. It's a big pitch, a lot of energy. So yeah, potentially that could be a worry for Blades.
Yeah, and guys, make sure you slap a like on the video. Check out Joe at Turfcast as well. Make sure you hit a like, and we will do the Coventry game as well tomorrow. Joe's bailing out of that one again. He just loves the Bristol City one.
Unfortunately, I have a proper job. I'm not giving it a shade towards you, Con. I'd love to do this full time, but as a Burnley fan, there's probably not much of a chance.
Just need loads of sponsors.
Yeah, I do. Premier League might help with that. I keep meaning to create a sponsorship deck, and I've messaged people and said, "Have you got a sponsorship deck?" And that's just more hassle than it's worth, because if all of it gets rejected, like, why am I spending all this time on a?
I've got one I can send you if you want that.
Yeah, go on, send me that, and I'll use yours as a template.
Yeah. It's
there you go, copying off the pros.
Yeah, it's not cheap though. You get people to make them for you, and the issue is because your subscribers are going up, and you'll see that all the time as well. When your subscribers are going up, but even just like monthly views and stuff like that, you constantly have to just update it. So it's like unless it's like an editable PDF, it's like you're a bit of a nightmare. I kind of just keep going back to
I were thinking of going on Fiverr and asking someone to do it, but then I'd have to ask for an editable document so I can change it, because my Facebook, like I say, not other stream, it goes up like sometimes, depending on what's happened, it can go up like 5 in a month. That 5K, by the way, not 5 people.
Right, we're about to kick off. I think Brooks is having it. Bang, we're off.
There we go. I might be a second or two ahead of you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, the Bristol City fans look like they're in the lower tier as well. So that must be the top
okay.
tier where they've got the Bristol City fans.
This is a bit mad, isn't it? If you are Bristol City, like, oh my, it's awful, isn't it? You're coming into 3-0 down.
Yeah, it's not close either. Like it's what, a 3-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive, something like that. I've never done Sheffield to Bristol, but it's not close, is it? So I bet a lot of people have just gone, you know what, I'm sacking it off. I'll go pub instead.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, fair play to the Bristol City fans. They must, you'd be gutted though, wouldn't you? You'd be absolutely gutted with that. Like,
it does look bad. That it looks awful. It's just showing it again there. It must be the Bristol City fans that.
It's got to be. I mean, they've been given the whole bit, and but I don't know. That is a big stand. Oh, is that Blades? It might be Blades.
That's Blades. That's normally Blades. That is normal. I will put that out there and say that isn't. So we're just sat here slagging Bristol City fans off when we could be way off the mark. It could be Blades, and if it is Blades, that's poor from them, especially. I mean, Bristol's a big city as well, but obviously Sheffield's a big city.
Because wouldn't they have paid for they'd have paid for an away ticket ages ago, wouldn't they? That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to think with it. Like, unless they've all just given it up after the first leg, but I can't imagine that.
Unless they were never going to fill it anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Bristol
not.
City travelled to Turf quite well not that long ago, but the away end at Turf's not big. It's only like 2,200.
Yeah, but even the bottom end, they've not filled it really. But still, like that top end. Little knock on Central's tight, a little bit of space here for Bristol City on the attack. Ball, it could be played through. He's taking too long there, though, aren't he? Oh, not a free kick. Should have been a free kick. Oh, it's just wide. Good effort. Looks like a corner there. Was that
I'm a little bit ahead of you here, actually, mate.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Good little counter attack. That is probably the best Bristol City have produced outside the ball, hitting the bar in both legs. in the first and obviously the other 2 minutes into this one, but that is probably the best little attack they've had. So I tell you what, though, Joe, if that had gone in, game on, innit? Really?
Yeah, honestly, that would have been scenes. I'd have loved it. Nothing against Blades, despite the stuff that the narrative that Jimmy tries to push all the time. But I just want to see a game. And that would have made it a game. Unfortunately, it's gone wide. And like I said, Blades will win it comfortably.
They've pretty much got the exact same away kit, haven't they? Do you know we were like crediting the Blades away kit last?
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
so exact same one, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't the home kit? No, obviously not stripes. Is it Bristol City? It's red, but the away kit's similar as well.
Yeah.
That's a boring final, isn't it? By the way, both not in terms of the actual game, in terms of the kits, both red and white stripes.
Yeah, terrible. Do you think Cobb will beat Sunderland, or do you think Sunderland will go through?
No, I think Sunderland go through.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll be close. It'll be a good game that tomorrow.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's game. Really looking forward to it.
Hoof clear. Right, Kiefer Moore. And Bristol City
win. I'll give mine a refresh because I'm a good 10 seconds ahead of you.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I need to do mine.
Hold on. I'm on 3:28, 9, 30. Giving it refresh, and I think we're bang on now.
Exact same, yeah. That's a bit annoying that you've refreshed it and it's got slower. The purpose of not refreshing.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
It's not a bad start, though, by Bristol City. It's a little bit weirdly more confident. It's almost like the shackles are off. It's just like, screw it. We'll just go and try do it. See what happens.
Yeah. Having said that, then they're going to go forward and leave space like they have here. Edge of the box.
Kiefer Moore, got a big chance there. Swivels just over the bar. Tom Cannon, 10 million Cannon. Big girl
down the drain.
Tommy Cannon doesn't score again. Just to see Wilder have a meltdown. Was genuinely thinking Sheffield United were playing in their away kit as you said that. Yeah, it's weird. It's the exact same.
Similar, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's close that, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, Jack. I think we thought Jimmy was in here. Right, Bristol City Cup getting away with it. Someone said as well, are we doing stuff with Jimmy? We are. He is just chock-a-blocked at the minute, I think. He's just doing blades here, blades there, blades.
Well, that's the benefits of your club being a little bit shitter than the other two, is that you've got more content to put out. So we're struggling of what to do. You keep sending me messages and say, no one's bothered about this season anymore. I need to talk about other stuff. I've just done one stream since, and Jimmy's obviously, like you said, wall to wall. So his views are going to be well up this month.
That's it, mate. That's it. Although I have taken my foot off the gas, but it is still, you are right.
I have, to be fair. Like I've done a lot less these last couple of weeks. I'll get back onto it. Just having a slight break.
Yeah, it's the right way of doing it. Right way of doing it. Right, okay. McCrory, who was terrible in that first game, plays the ball down the line. Ooh. The best goalkeeper. Best goalkeeper in world football there. Unbelievable save. Don't know why I'm giving Sheffield United rubbish all of a sudden. I apologise, Blades fans. This is a neutral channel. Everyone's friends
Which
here.
channel are we on here? Are we on the Connor channel?
Oh, dearie me. Yeah, Cooper gets rid. What a lovely sun-bathed game. These are summer games. Summer games are great, aren't they?
Mate, honestly, it's fantastic. When we qualified for Europe, and we played them qualifier games in late July, they started, mate, it was absolutely glorious. I remember the sun setting behind the away end at the turf at like 9:30. It was brilliant. I was there in shorts and t-shirts. But yeah, it's great.
Was it like a Greek team or something?
We played Aberdeen first, then Istanbul Başakşehir, beat them 2. Then we got Olympiakos, the most decorated side in the history of Greece, lost in Olympiakos and drew at the turf, but obviously that sent us out.
Was Marianakis still there? Was he still their owner at that point?
Yes, he was. He apparently ran in. He apparently stormed the referee's changing room at half time. You wouldn't be surprised to hear. And then, shock horror, we got a red card quite early on in the second half, and they got a penalty. He's not changed a bit.
What did you make of that yesterday? Because obviously with the owner,
bizarre. Why is he doing that? Like, they've just qualified for Europe, guaranteed a space in Europe for the first time since the 80s, and he's on the pitch kicking off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, apparently he came on and he was asking about a substitution or whatever, but I thought Neville went a bit over top when he was like, "Oh, he needs to resign tomorrow." I'm just like, chill out.
I didn't see that. He loves a bit of drama, does Neville, doesn't he?
Sensationalism a little bit, but I don't know. I think that the good thing about Nuno is now with his CV, I think obviously after Wolves and not Forest in particular, he could go anywhere, mate, in that Premier League. He could go in the bottom half anyway. He could go anywhere and make a team solid. And I'll tell you what, worst case scenario with us, guarantee they'll probably take a look at Nuno, both teams. Do you know what I mean? If he's out of work, that is,
Yeah. Yeah, we'd do well to convince him to come from Forest, especially in the Europa League. But if Marianakis kicks off and sacks him or loses his head, then definitely I'd 100% have him. But I'm not sure he'd go that far down. Anyway, ball in, header. Oh,
good chance. McCrory coming in off that right hand side. Good opportunity again for Bristol City there. Conjuring something took a while. Something decent there. Was it McCrory at the back post? It looks like a corner. Is it a corner? Should be.
It should be. Have they given it?
Don't think they have. Probably should be a corner, but that could have gone anywhere. And it is a corner.
Yes, in the net.
It is a corner.
Just laughing at Jack's comment. I have caught the sun, Jack, but I'm not as bad as I look on this screen because of this camera.
Jerry the Berry. He's got what it is, Jack, is he's got this he'll have this big light on his face which kills the exposure. Needs to invest in cheapskate. Right.
I do need better stuff.
Corner. Ball played in. Max Bird, terrible corner. Terrible corner. Oh, and he's offside. Is it offside? Is it offside? Wrong. What on earth is up? Oh, is it a free kick? Oh my God. I mean, there you're up. I mean, how's that? An L somehow got away with that. I don't really know how he's got away with that.
It was 6 and 1 and half a dozen and the other, weren't it?
Yeah. I mean, Manning's making that point. But I tell you what, Joe, when you're 3-0 down inside the first 10 minutes, you want a good set piece delivery, don't you? What was that into the box?
Who took it? Was it Twine?
Max Bird.
Twine's got to be taking them. He knows how to take a set piece, but that were awful.
This is miles better from Bristol City. Bristol City are a different team here. They're a different team.
I think, like you said earlier, the pressure's probably off. They play with a little bit of freedom. To be fair, at the same time, we'll be stepping off them. There's no need for Blades to take risks.
No.
So they will be stepping off them a little bit. But yeah, good start from Bristol City. And hopefully an early goal, just so we know we actually have some entertainment.
I think they'll score, but it's just not going to be enough. It's just not going to be enough.
So soon, and it's not in the 89th minute.
Yeah. Help us out a little bit. Making some content. Max
Hello.
Bird,
Great ball.
Lovely ball on this left-hand side.
Edge,
Oh,
edge.
three in
That's
the
it.
box.
Oh.
Ball in. Oh, Twine. Oh, God, how many chances are they having? Oh, ball played in though. Oh, God.
If anyone wants to know why Burnley didn't give Scott Twine a proper chance in the Premier League,
oh my God,
answer.
what an opportunity that was for Twine. I mean, they had how many options? And this, I know, look, like you said, Joe, the context is, Blaze don't have to do anything here, but less than a month ago, Bristol City came here and got a point. Do you know what I mean? We're right
and
in
that
the
was
game.
massive for us too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Roberts ball in there. Twine. Oh,
he kind of falls, doesn't it? Like before it. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. It's a right opportunity. And Jack says, Twine playing tonight. Well, it certainly is, mate.
He's trying, mate. He's trying.
But it's a good start from Bristol City. It is. Yeah. It's that quality in it, Joe, that we're talking about. It's just
100%.
It's not there, is it?
100%. They've been
ball again.
They're in behind again now. Oh, go on.
Oh, ball in. He's Naki Wells. Go on, Naki.
Another ex-Claret. I forgot he was playing.
Vinny
like you said, another example of the quality just not being there.
No, and I think Sheffield United are gonna get him on the counter. It's a right tackle, Max Bird. Max Bird here again. Left. It is Twine, plays it left. It's Roberts on this left-hand side. A lot of production coming from this side. Max Bird plays the ball inside. Jason Knight goes left. Unlucky. Hard lines, as my granddad says. Hard lines.
Hard lines. That's a proper Yorkshire saying that, isn't it?
Now, I'll tell you what, like Sunday League football, me and my mates always have a laugh about it, like what used to be said. I always remember, like, in any situation, like, my dad just shout on, he'd go, gamble! Gamble!
Yeah.
Just gamble.
My dad, he wouldn't say, like, at start at match, he'd always shout me, and I'd look over to him, and he'd just do this. He'd just say, like, get stuck in, and I'd just do this back to him. He'd say, like, yeah, I will. That was literally
it. Lee's in the building. Hey, Lee, the poshest player that put on a claret top. Yeah, I heard one of his interviews was, to be honest, I'd rather sound like that than what Callum O'Hare tries to sound like.
I hate that voice.
Which is the most it's bizarre.
He thinks he's a roadman, doesn't he? From
somewhere
in London.
And I think he's from Coventry, so it's very odd.
Yeah, I don't know if I know Jack's a Claret, but I don't know if he's local to Burnley. I once actually saw Scott Twine in Padiham Tesco, and if you know Padiham, that's the least Scott Twine place in the world. I think is the best way to describe it. And he couldn't work out where the bags were, so he ended up buying a big, flowery freezer bag just for like basic stuff because he couldn't work out where the other bags were, and he paid like £2 for a bag. And he's like, "Is this where the bags are?" It was quite funny.
Yep, that's where the other half live, innit? Just bringing freezer bags.
Bags or just for a packet of ham or whatever they were buying.
Freezer bags for a meal deal. Sam says, hey, Connor, got you on the background on the way to London. I feel sorry for you, Sam, but good lad. Twine, what's stringing up, says Stephen. Big girls really do cry, says hi to Lee. There you go. Cheers, Lee, as well. But yeah, this has actually been a better start to the game than. Do you remember the first leg was dull, wasn't it? Those first 30 minutes, it was boring.
Yeah, it were felt like it were just two teams sort of like feeling each other out. Obviously, Bristol City hit the bar, Blades had a goal disallowed, but other than that, not much happened. And then the red card came, didn't it? Around that time, I think. Can't remember exactly when it came, but around that time, and that kind of made the game even worse. Yes, we got some action. Yes, we got some talking points. But it just made the game a foregone conclusion. So it ended up being quite poor.
Did indeed, mate. Did indeed. Well, they're coming forward again here anyway. Again, that ball's on again to I think it's Hayden Roberts in it, but Chowdhury gets him. Chowdhury, do you think he just comes back down with Leicester and just sticks it right back, Joe? What do you reckon happens there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the deal is. Is there an obligation in there? Or...
Yeah, it might be an obligation. Yeah,
there might be. I think, I'd be worried if I was Sheffield United having him in the Prem. But yeah, I think the best bet for him would be to play in the Championship with Leicester next season. But I'm not sure what the situation is.
Gaz says when SUFC got relegated, Gus had a relegation clause, and if they don't go up, could that still be triggered, or am I talking waffle? There will be. I'm sure there's a relegation clause in all the top players now. I'm sure that there will be with Hamer. I don't think it's going to be exclusive. that he won't have one. I'm sure he will have, but it's just how much that is. I swear when they came down, there was murmurings of it being 30 million quid. I'm sure there was. But yeah, I'm not sure, mate. Well, I did fancy Sun to get through. Was expecting a draw the other night. I think I don't know about you, Joe, but I would rather Sunderland get through to the final because I genuinely couldn't call it. I think on the day between Sunderland and Sheffield United, there's not that much between them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the most entertaining final. If they do get through, I think Blades will probably have too much for Coventry, like they did not that long ago.
Yeah.
To be fair, but yeah, Blades Sunderland, it's a great final. Two big clubs as well. Obviously, Sunderland, absolutely huge. So yeah, that will be the best final for me in terms of
it's a proper final, that, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it is.
And I don't think you get either team just being cautious as well. Like you,
especially Sunderland. Yeah, especially Sunderland. I think Sunderland will properly go for it. And Sunderland, I know they've won a final at Wembley recently, but I always remember when they lost to Johnston's Paint. Were it to Portsmouth? Always feel like they've sort of like got that in them as well. So they've always got glorious failure in them as well. So that's another line that could be.
They're like us, mate. They're like us. They're the exact same as us, Sunderland. Exact same as Leeds. It's there. Like you said, there's glorious failure there all the time. Yeah, it's madness. On the left-hand side again, overload there.
Awful pass. Just remembered where I were then. Awful pass. Awful. But again, just coming back to what you said about the quality. Yeah, Tom, I completely agree with what Tom's saying. That's what I've been saying for ages about Sunderland, haven't I? I've been saying it since we met up at the Brother at Arms about Sunderland and the big pitch and things like that. They are properly suited to that Wembley pitch.
Is Wembley's pitch even that big, though?
I don't know, I think it is. That's why I've gone with this, and I've ran with it for like 3-4 months now. So I hope it is.
It's just as big as turf. It's just like a bigger stadium. There he is, Harry Maguire, slabhead.
The pitch at Wembley Stadium is 115 yards long and 75. It's obviously within the range, as it has to be. But I don't know if how that relates to other pitch dimensions.
Big Al says Sheffield United aren't a big club. In the Championship, I think they are. I don't think.
In terms of the Championship, they are. They're not top 10 in England or anything, but in terms of the Championship, they are.
Yeah, but I agree. Like, when you look at other teams that have been down there, but Steve says Wembley is the biggest pitch in the country.
My boy Steve backing me up. Steve, I love you, mate. You threw me on the bus last week, so I appreciate you helping me out here.
Also, Steve, get yourself on YouTube, mate. Don't be watching us on Twitter. Also, that's the thing for all of you. I've got loads of One Leaders watching now. We've got 806 people on social media watchers. Make sure you come and subscribe. Not A to Turfcast, B to Turfcast, but A to
Turfcast. And then you're already subscribed to One Leads. That's why. See, I don't like people watching me on Twitter.
This isn't One Leads. This isn't One Leads. Remember that?
I just don't stream on Twitter.
Yeah, I did this. Yeah, to be fair, I could take Twitter. Imagine maybe that's a marketing ploy. Maybe right now, because I've got 813 people off. Should I just take Twitter and Facebook off right now? I've teased them. I should just take it off now.
Just delete the streams now. It goes down to 3 people watching.
Literally, it would. Right. Okay. Cam Pring's back. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't see him on the team lineup. Actually, was he there? Because he was sorely missed in that first game. He is there, yeah. So he was missing in that game. Ball played forward again. Naki Wells, who didn't get a touch, did he, in that first game? Really?
No. Not done that much. He's running behind a couple of times and played it back, but he needs to be like getting in behind and having some space. There's a hit from distance, and it's a save. Comfortable save, that for the best goalkeeper in the world. And just as I'm saying that, as Naki Wells needs to shoot more, he has a long range effort, but he needs to be in behind and getting shots away, sort of like behind the defence and in the penalty area more. So
are you taking that much from Sheffield United here, or do you think, like you've just said, it's it's safe?
You can't really judge them on tonight. I feel I don't think they were great until the red card. To be honest, on Thursday was it when we did the last stream? But again tonight, I think they're just standing off. They don't need to risk anything. The game's won.
It's probably quite surprising that he started who he started, isn't it? I guess he's rested Ty Campbell, hasn't he? But I thought he might have rested Hamer and Susan, to be honest. Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. But you don't want to rest too much, do you? Then you end up being 2-0 down after 15 minutes, and then you twitch your bum time, innit?
Gaz says Vardy to Wednesday. No way, mate. They couldn't organise a you know what in a brewery, that lot. They're an absolute basket case of a club. They could not organise something of that magnitude. No way. Hamer ball through. It looks like Andre Brooks just on this right hand side now. Cuts back. Looks like it's petered out a little bit. Yeah, but no, I don't know about you, Joe, but I couldn't ever see Vardy going there. Maybe when he's about 9.
Yeah, they're imagine Chancery trying to get Vardy into the club. He'd run a mile. He'd run an absolute mile.
Vardy will know as well, won't he?
Yeah, he won't even entertain it. And plus, I know he's on his way down, Vardy. To be fair, and players do take wage cuts. But I think the best thing for him now, and I very rarely say something like this, but he's going somewhere like Saudi, get one last big payday. He's obviously been linked with Leeds, as Lee says. There's been a couple of links to Burnley as well. Burnley won't pay his wages, and I wouldn't actually want him. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want Vardy at Burnley.
No, I think there's been a obviously I know Leicester haven't been great this year, but I think there has been an obvious decline with Vardy for about 2.5 years now.
I agree. Yeah,
he's done very well though. To say we're still talking about Vardy in like a lethal Premier League striker sense. I didn't realise how old he was, but when he was like 34, 33, 34, we're still talking about Vardy like he was, lethal. But Big Al says Vardy is a Wednesday. It doesn't matter, mate. Literally don't matter. They cannot get Steve Bracknell to come and do like any sort of charity function at their club. Sheffield United go and get Steve Bracknell to do a charity function at their club. That's how badly Sheffield Wednesday are ran. There's no way they're going to get hold of Jamie Vardy. Ball switched out.
Get it wide.
Yeah, he's gone the wrong way. Twine, play on. He's played it behind him. My God, he's killed it. That's something that irritates me, Joe. Because a lot of people think that during football play, if a ball gets played to, let's say, a winger or a fullback, it's a completed pass. But if it's played behind him, it kills the attack and it enables the defence to just restructure again. And Twine did it there. It's like play the ball in front of the left back so he can run onto it.
Yeah.
That's to check his run. It just kills it. Ball played
Oh, go on.
Whoa. Here we go.
Yes.
Cooper.
That's why he's the best keeper. That's why he's the best keeper in the world, mate. That's why he's the best keeper in the world.
Did well.
Yeah. As much as I do like his stats.
Did someone hesitate then? Who hesitated? It was an L, wasn't it? Bloody hell. Just stop there, didn't it? Go on, what are you saying?
I'm going to say, as much as I do like his stats, and I do like to reel off some stats, that's why the argument of watch football with your eyes is always a good one, because a stat there for Twine would say completed pass. Then he might end up being the person with the most completed forward passes, and someone will use that as an argument in 3-4 weeks to say, well, look, he deserves to be playing for this team. When really, from watching Twine today, I don't think he's been that great. I think he's been pretty poor, if anything, actually. That's a foul, yeah.
They don't look great, does he, Twine? Evening, Connor and Joe.
Start from him.
Hi, Louis. Who is that? Oh, is that Rob Dickey? God, he looks a bit like Harry Suter, doesn't he?
He does there, yeah. He does there.
Steve says, well-known Fat Vardy and his wife have a business in the USA to go to and he won't be able to play. Yeah, I think Bamford's been talking about the US as well. I tell you what, Joe, what a life, mate. What a life. You play in the Prem, which even Bamford's done, to be fair to him.
Vardy had that good season at Leeds, to be fair.
Has Vardy ever scored that many goals? I'm not even kidding. Has Vardy scored 17 goals in the Premier League before? I mean, I'm sure he has.
Yeah, surely, because remember, he's got the record for the most goals in a row, hasn't he? Like for 11 games in a row. So surely that season when Leicester won the league, he'd have got more than 17.
That's true. That is true. Andre Brooks. But yeah, Bamford got 17 goals that season. I will always say with Bamford that season, I'll kind of always say this, but it was behind closed doors. Because Bamford is a confidence merchant. So I just feel like if it was in front of crowds, it might be a little bit different. That is a right tackle from Campering. That's a right tackle from Chowdhury as well. Yeah. They're competing a lot more, aren't they? Here we go, though.
Yeah, they're coming into it now, Blades.
Andre Brooks up against Campering. Brooks gets muddled. I tell you what, he's looking all right, isn't he? Pring. He's looking like a bit of a nice little addition to that back line. I think he's a big...
that's a foul, is it? No, ref's not giving it.
Hamer's just bounced McCrory, ball played in over the bar. Is that weights or is that burgers? Hey, we're just bouncing him off like that.
Looking like a corner. Let's have a look at this again.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's shoulder to shoulder. That, to be fair, isn't it? Not wrong with that.
He's absolutely sent McCrory there, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's the benefits of being slightly overweight. You can just bounce players off you like
that. Connor, what are your thoughts on Kelleher? Yeah, I mean, if we're able to get someone like Kelleher, it'd be unbelievable, mate. I think it's unlikely, but only because I think there's going to be a lot of European clubs in for him as well. I don't think it's just going to be Leeds. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Kelleher at all.
You know what? I like him as a good keeper, but I did see someone ask the question, sort of like, "Oh, would you take Keller out of Burnley?" And I'm just astounded. And I know you shouldn't. You said it perfectly once when I watched one of your streams or one of your videos. Like, Twitter should not be the barometer of football knowledge. No. But I always get annoyed with the stuff I see on it, and so many Burnley fans are like, "No, not good enough for Burnley." I'm like, "Have a day off, mate. He's more than good enough."
Yeah, you get it a lot.
Leeds would be a perfect replacement.
100%. Yeah, we get it a lot with, and it's people's opinions, of course, but you do get, like, severely disagree with a lot of it. Like, you know, there's a lot of conversation about recruitment, and it's for, you know, it's relevant to this as well because we're talking about promoted sides and the playoffs here. But it's like, who do you go for? But it is, recruitment must be a nightmare from the Championship to the Premier League because I'm even sat here a week or two ago talking about Gus Hamer and thinking that he can bridge the gap. But then I'm a little bit like, well, I don't actually know. And that's kind of it. You can't outlay, you know, 25, 30 million on a player who might bridge the gap. You've almost got to have it for certainty, really, because if you do miss, I mean, when we went up, Leeds spent 62 million quid on Brendan Aronson and Rodrigo. That physically, athletically, there were no match for the Premier League. Absolutely no match for the Premier League, and we spent nearly 62 million quid on him. So it's, you know, Rodrigo did okay in his final season, but we didn't get the worth there really for 30 million quid. You just can't go that wrong, Joe. You cannot go that wrong. You've got to get it right.
You know, same for us. We spent, you know, it wasn't as much, but the media reports were saying around 150 million as Bristol City put it in, but it's cleared. And we just signed a lot of players that, you know, just weren't good enough technically or weren't good enough physically. And you know, you can't get it that wrong. You can't get it that wrong, and we did.
Daryl, we spoke about him for years. Have you heard of him, Joe? Castellanos. Spoke about him for years. He was at New York for a while, and then he went to Lazio, I think. Kelleher goes to Bournemouth. Yeah, he'll go somewhere like that. Souček is that'd be a right signing for Burnley. I mean,
he's been linked with Leeds, hasn't he?
We've had loads of them linked with us. We've had Decore, Sean Longstaff, Souček, and everybody's turning the nose up. And I'm like, you need physical runners. You need athletes in that midfield. Joe, imagine when we come up against Newcastle and they've got Guimaraes, Joe Linton, and Tonali in that midfield three as runners, as athletes. It's not just about having technical players in there. You've got to have people who can keep up with them. You know what I mean? Physically and try run. That's the big thing. It's physicality.
On a far smaller scale, and I do not think this guy will be able to make the step up to the Prem, but time will tell. A lot of Burnley fans were sort of like not turning the nose up, but a bit like, Josh Loren, 500k at Stoke. Surely he's not good enough for what we. Absolutely brilliant. He was fantastic for us, and he's part of the reason why we are where we are. He's been able to rotate players, you know, he's not started every game, but you know, when he's come in, he's done a fantastic job. But he's another one. He's a battler. He's a runner. Yeah, and you need players like that.
Yeah, you do. Of course you do. Yeah, he's a good player. Well, I say he's a good player. He's an athlete as well, and which helps.
Yeah,
athlete. I won't mind bringing in Vinny Souza from Sheffield if they don't go up. Thing is, Ben, I'd have said that. The problem is with Souza is I think you've got to look at, because the thing is, like any promoted team, we're obviously watching the playoffs now, and me and Joe are in a fortunate position to have teams who are in the Prem now, but you've got to bring in players, in my opinion, who are going to minimum play like 32 games. You can't be bringing players in who are going to be playing 15 games and then the rest of it's going to be injured. Like, that's what I'd worry about with Souza. And that's why I always push back with Jim when he was always saying, Souza gets in team of the season. You can't have him in team of the season. He's not dependable. He's not reliable. Ability-wise, he might be decent, but he don't play enough. You know, you look at someone like, Al Tanaka. He plays every minute for Leeds United. Vinny Souza don't play every minute, and they're similar on a technical level. So I know we're talking physicality again, but But, I'd argue the case that physically, Altanaka would be able to go for longer, endurance-wise as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a big conversation to have there when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, you need, like you say, dependable players, reliable players who play every single week. Your Cullens, your Brownhills, they might get some injuries here and there, but, they play for the majority of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I stitched you reaction to my Sunderland commentary TikTok in front of some of the Sunderland YouTubers. Granted, most of the boys were away, but your passion for the game is quality. Cheers, mate. I don't know what that means. Stitched on TikTok. What does that link me, mate? And I'll have a look and I'll give it a share. But thanks so much.
I thought you were down with kids who were good on TikTok, mate.
I'm down with the kids, mate. But I'm nearly 32. Do you know what I mean? Like I've kind of got to a point of which now when someone says
nearly 40.
Someone says stitched, I think of Lilo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sunderland need a keeper if they go up. Not sure. Yeah, not sure about. Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's poor, isn't he?
He's a ropey one.
Tell you what, if Sunderland go up and Blades don't, sign Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper, best keeper in the world. We need to I guarantee, even if they don't go up and we do a combined 11, we might get 3 Burnley and Leeds players in there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if Burnley and Leeds had the best season ever last year and next year and both qualified for Europa League, Jimmy'd still have 6 Blades players in there, even though they finished 8th in the Championship.
What I love about what he does as well is Jim's got a really interesting technique when it comes to arguing his point. He goes, so I'll make something about Ampadu and he'll go, how'd he play in his last game? I was like, yeah, not well, but that don't mean over the season he's been poor, Jim. How'd he play last week against Watford? Not like great, but he's been good the whole season. I remember that.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with what you say to him. If you sort of like say, oh, Josh Brown were poor against Leeds, I didn't really think he were great, then that's it. It's in his head then for the rest of the season. And if I say Josh Brown has had a better season than Gus Hamer, he's like, hold on a second, you said he was poor against Leeds. That doesn't mean anything, mate.
You said. Looks like Keith Moore might be going off here. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they just bring what's his face on?
Ty Campbell.
Yeah. I like him, to be fair.
Campbell is a good player. Tottenham. Oh God! I mean, this is what we like. Apparently, Leeds were thinking about. Well, I might share it. Hold on, I'll share it on here actually. Leeds were thinking about this, and this is kind of the
news. Leeds linked with this guy. Love it.
This is kind of the rubbish that we're going to have to deal with this season. Apparently, we sent off documents to him apparently today. Tottenham making moves for James McAtee. City are open to the transfer. Spurs looking to capitalise, but the competition is tough. Newcastle, Brighton, Everton, Villa, Palace, Forest, and even Leverkusen are in the race.
There's no chance, is there?
Oh, God.
There's no chance.
Absolutely none.
Oh, look at that. There's 2 jaws. Love it.
Hold on. I'll be doing that.
There you go.
Get back down.
Relegated. Get relegated. Back in the basement, lad.
Back in your corner. Yeah. You looking forward to the Premier League?
Yes and no. I'm looking forward to see what we do this summer. I'd like to reassess and see where we are in the summer. In fact, because this game has got awful and the tie's already done, you were talking earlier about players who you think will be able to make the step up. How many players do you think are in the current Leeds squad to make the step up? Because I will say that I heard Nick from Sheffield United way on TalkSport today, and he was sort of like saying, I'm not sure Leeds and Burnley have got many players that can make the step up. There's maybe 2 or 3 in both squads. I think Leeds and Burnley both have to spend big. I think Leeds can spend big and potentially stay up. He's already written Burnley off. He said, I'm not sure Burnley can, which is interesting to say that we haven't even kicked a ball yet, and the Championship season hasn't even finished. But I was sat there immediately thinking,
on that then, would he have? So he's saying that he's written Burnley off. Does that mean if Sheffield United get through the playoffs, he'd write them off straight away as well?
You would, based on that logic, yes. But it doesn't work like that. As Sheffield United come in,
it's a bad ball from Hamer actually. 2 at the back post, should have converted. Yeah. I mean, if he's saying already like Burnley are written off, and I understand that you've got to make predictions, haven't you, right now? And what would you say your early predictions are? I think everybody is saying that everybody feels that Leeds are going to make Leeds are going to make the biggest fist of it, probably just because of our revenue and how much.
It's just the money from the 49ers, isn't it, more than anything?
Yeah. And obviously how much we might be able to move against PSR, because we might be able to sell the likes of Nonto and Strauch and Joseph for good money, and make sort of a bigger bracket there from what you guys will be able to spend. But I also think that, like you've just said, Joe, how can you judge it right now? A ball's not been kicked, a transfer's not been made. You can't say that. And TalkSport will have him in a corner a little bit. Obviously, what do you think and this, that, and the other. But we know the reality of it. The reality of it is there's probably about a 90% chance all three of us go down. But I also think what's annoyed me about this whole stuff is I genuinely believe there's more context to be applied to the last 6 teams who've got relegated. There's so much more to apply to it. And I just think a lot of it is just the same old argument of, well, the gap's getting bigger. The 3 coming up are just going to go down again next year. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What if there's some manager turbulation? What if there's certain players
injury crisis at Wolves, for example?
Yeah, exactly. And what if we get what if one of us gets a really good run of it? At the start in terms of fixtures, and I say a really good run of it, and I know the gap is massive, but what if? Let's say in our first 5 games, what if? What if Leeds get? Let's say Sheffield go up, right? Leeds get Sheffield and Burnley. Leeds beat Sheffield United and Burnley, or it could work in your favour. You could beat Leeds, Sheffield United, and then we get another win against Wolves, 1-0 at home. That's not out the realms of possibility. And then in the first,
you're already 2 points off Southampton there, aren't you? Sorry, 3 points now. They got a draw at the weekend.
But you know what I mean? That's not out the realms of possibility. So I don't know. I just think it's blown out the proportion a little bit. I don't think that the teams that have gone up have covered themselves in any glory whatsoever, and that includes you lot as well. When you went,
I just think when you're saying that, I'm thinking he's slagging Burnley off here.
It's true,
but no, we were awful that year.
And I actually don't think a lot of it is your fault. I genuinely don't. I think a lot of it is company in it. I think company, and then you got Russell Martin, and then you've also got Sheffield United going up. I mention this all the time, but I think McAtee obviously went back off loan, who was their best player. Then they had Illiman and Jai nicked off them. Then they had, was it Sander Berger, who was bought as well from you? Was it you who bought him?
We bought him, and he ended up being our best signing of that summer, actually. He was fantastic. You could argue Wilson Odebear as well, but for me, it was Sander Berger.
And then Ipswich had a League One side, so they had to properly reinvest. You look at Leicester and Southampton, it was appalling recruitment. And let's be honest, when you're looking at Leicester as well, Maresca left, didn't he, in the summer, which is problematic straight away. And then obviously, like we've just mentioned with Vincent Kompany, Russell Martin would not adapt. So I think there's a lot of context, mate. And actually, the best. I've said this on a couple of streams before. When Luton finished 18th, right? When Luton finished 18th, they only finished 6 points off Forest. Forest got 2 wins in the last 3 games of the season.
Didn't Forest get a point deduction though, or did they not? I can't remember.
Might have done, but still,
I know Everton got what over the course of the season, minus 12, something like that.
12. Yeah. But
there's that context we applied on that side of it as well. But yeah, one of the wins for Forest were against us in the last day of the season when Luton were already relegated.
I think there's just a lot of context to be applied to it, to be honest. But I understand the gap's getting bigger, but the last 6 teams haven't exactly gone in the best route, in my opinion, anyway.
It's going to be interesting. I feel like we're going to do the exact opposite next season. We're going to go back to the proper Daesh football where people constantly slagged us off. And they slagged us off because they didn't like it, because we weren't letting teams have their own way.
Oh my God.
I feel like we're going to do that again.
I'm so sorry, but Scott Twine, man.
If we're short corner that, weren't it?
If they score here, I'm great. I mean, what is that for Gus Hamer?
Gus Hamer's not had a great night tonight, has he? Poor ball earlier.
Get the Paul out of cheeseburger. But I could not believe that corner there by Scott Twine. Andre Brooks literally read where it was going to go. He was a yard off the man when he received the ball, and then they just counter-attacked. Sheffield United have started getting a lot better here. They're completely on top now.
I agree. Last 5-10 minutes, it's been Blades. They've come back into it. They pinched Bristol City in their own half, and like you said, been the better side.
Yeah. Leeds bring back Alif Davis. I don't know. It's a good question, though. I like Leif Davis, but I don't know.
Bristol defended in the end, but nearly went through.
Neymans.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. There's rumours that Burnley might be looking at Assignon again, who did improve us last time we were in the Prem, but it'd be a big shame, in my opinion, to see Connor Roberts not given a chance again in the Prem. He ended up being a fan favourite again this season, just with the way he is and stuff, and just how he's hilarious, and he puts in a 7 out of 10 every single game for me, minimum.
Got to be careful with that sentiment, though.
Yeah, true, but I would like to see him given a chat. I feel like he's decent enough, but he's not a world beater.
Yeah.
Although I did put a tweet out, I didn't realise who Dr. Disrespect really was. I was aware of him, and I knew he'd like a streamer and stuff. And Connor Roberts has recently grown a mullet and a tash. He's always had a tash, but he's grown a mullet, and he wears them big weird shades like Dr. Disrespect. So I put a tweet out.
Didn't he get done for something though?
Well, exactly. He got done for like proper really bad stuff. But everyone's like, "This is a weird tweet, mate. This is a really dodgy tweet." And I was like, I didn't. So I just googled his name, and it's like, yeah, it's all there. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he got done for something a bit dodgy.
Yeah, really dodgy, mate. Like P word that I don't want to say on stream. Really bad stuff.
Peter. Lucas Bellardi, Connor. Yeah, he's unbelievable. Ball about to be played in here. Okay, stopped. But yeah, Lucas Bellardi, yeah, he's unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable from the back as well. But I think Marseille want 25-30 million quid for him. So I don't know if Leeds will pay that. Ball played in.
Header. It's in. Game set match.
That is it. And how easy is that? And
see, that's what happens when you put a good corner in, Scotty Twine, if you're watching.
Yeah, and
he's not watching.
they've had their opportunities, and it must be really frustrating if you're a Bristol City fan. I mean, that, fantastic for the Blades, but if you're Bristol City, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Sorry, it sounds harsh, but ball float. Look at this, Joe. Right, Max O'Leary's completely pinned to his line. Kiefer Moore simply just jumps. He'll never get an easier finish than that. Look at that. I mean, it's bread and butter.
Everything about that from Bristol City's perspective is awful. God, Kiefer, if you're not going to get there, stay on your line.
And they've been a pretty. I'll be honest. I've seen Sheffield United play better than this as well, just in terms of
play better at the turf when we beat them and obviously getting promotion. They were decent that night.
Play better against us. They were very, very good in the first half against us. I don't think Sheffield United have played that well in these the first half of this game, and obviously the full 90. I think they were good in the full 90 against Bristol City, but I don't think they were. I don't know if it was a 3-0, and that's not any disservice to Sheffield United. I'm just saying there. I just think Bristol City have been really poor. Like, it's not been a good, because we all had a lot of hopes for them, didn't we, Joe? In terms of just like them being an outside playoff edition, but it's just the quality up top. Everything has been poor.
It's like we're all buzzing for them because, like you said, they were outsiders. We're all like, I hope they can do it. But they've looked like outsiders. They've looked like a team that's finished 22 points behind Sheffield United. Yeah, they've been poor. There's been moments in this game, like they did start the better of the two, didn't they, in the first 15, 20, 25 minutes. But even when they were on top, the quality was pretty poor from them. You could see that they weren't as good as their opposition. And again, they've just given the ball away. A really poor mistake. And even when they've been on top, they just haven't been good enough.
No, it's a bit. I'd see if I'm Wilder now. I'm making changes big time.
Yeah, I'd make them at half time. I'd take Gus off and.
Yeah, definitely. They look really comfortable. I don't think there's been a couple of times where Bristol City have got in behind, but like you say, it's not to be disrespectful, but when you got Max Bird, Naki Wells, and Scott Twine, you're struggling there, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. And then again, putting themselves under unnecessary pressure there. I mean, the referee's bailed him out and given him a free kick. I mean, it probably was, to be fair, but that's a poor ball from the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Big girls really do cry. You'd have probably liked Bristol City, wouldn't you? I saw a clip of Goldbridge saying Mason Greenwood would be a good signing for Leeds or Burnley. Okay, well,
that's classic Goldbridge, that, isn't it? I mean, like Leeds or Burnley are going to want him at the club.
Why would Leeds entertain that, or Burnley? Let's never do that. For multiple reasons. Any thoughts on my above comment of potential options? I'm not seeing it, mate. Let me have a look. Goodness me, how far back is this, pal? Jesus. I'm going back.
Just type it again, Mike. Type it again, Mike, so Connor doesn't have to go through an hour of comments. Oh, there you go.
What about these? Beerith, Monaco, Dragerson, Spurs, centre-back, Bakayoko, PSG winger, as Keith Morris.
Hands off Teller, he's ours. Hands off Teller.
Stein's a very decent player. Teller would be Arsenal left back. Arsenal, I think Tierney's going to go to Celtic. I think Dragerson's decent. Spurs won't want to let him go, mate. Spurs.
Yeah, there's no way Spurs let Dragerson go. No way.
He's played a lot of minutes. It looks like they're losing Romero as well. So,
good player, Dragerson.
Yeah, he's a good player. So yeah, a few of them good options though, mate. But yeah, I think there's gonna be so many names floating around. I'm doing a Connor 6 picks tomorrow, where I'm going through some of the Connor 6 picks, where I'm going through some of the recruitment bits. You should do that as well. You boring git.
I'm going to do more, but as I've said several times, I actually have to go to work, unfortunately. But hopefully, you put your stream up in the morning tomorrow, because mornings at work tend to be quite quiet on the shift that I'm doing tomorrow. So I'll give it a watch.
You can laugh when I say we'll get Trafford.
I'll be straight in comments.
Straight ratter.
In fact, no. After the grief I've had of Leeds fans recently, I think I'll lay low for a while.
I'll get on the Turfcast Twitter page. Violated.
Random man says Nathan Teller back to Burnley. I'd cry out of pure joy, mate. I've never loved a player as much as Nathan Teller in like the last 10 years. I love the man. When he left, I was devastated. Never fall in love with a lone player. Didn't just fall in love with him. I would marry that man tomorrow.
Was he off the left? Was he off the left or was he on the right?
I think he's mainly left. You know what? I can't remember. I think he did a bit of both, bit of switcheroo. Might have been right a little bit more. You know what, mate? I can't. My memory is genuinely awful.
If he was off the left, I'm sure the comments will let us know anyway. At Leeds, I don't think even because there's loads of rumors about Solomon going to Marseille. I don't think Leeds need to. It's not even worst case scenario. We with Willie Gnonto on that left hand side, if he's to operate out there, and Ramazani on that left hand side as well. Leeds don't need to do anything on that left. I don't think. If we want to, then we can. But Leeds have got the options right now. I think we need to focus on attacking midfield and right wing. That's where I would focus. I think off the left you have Gnonto and Ramazani in the Premier League. I think they're more than good enough options. I think Leeds need to focus on the right and attacking midfield. To be honest.
Strikers for us.
Lewison's when's the next battle lines? It will be.
Hold on, we could discuss this live on air, mate.
Because Joe's always a nightmare.
Yeah, Thursday 8:15.
Yeah, we'll do. We can do.
We'll have to run it past Jimbo.
Yeah, we should be able to do it unless Mr. Sheffield United's not able to do it. But we normally do it on. It'll be the end of this, won't it? So they'll be in the final. So I'm sure and actually it'll be the end of the playoffs. So yeah, we'll do it on Thursday. We'll do it on Thursday because it'll be final time, won't it?
Yeah, we'll know who their opponent is as well, then, won't we? Because obviously Coventry and Sunderland play tomorrow.
I ordered him this Leeds shirt, but I don't know when it's going. Like I ordered him this Leeds shirt honestly about a week ago. So I'm really hoping.
Have you ordered it to his house or yours? Get it to yours first, so you know it's arrived.
No, I've ordered it to his. I've ordered it to his. So
he's just going to pretend it's not turned up, mate.
Didn't bring it. I hope he didn't do that, the scumbag, because I spent a lot of money on that. So if he does do that, then unsubscribe from Blaze Ramble.
I'm going to clip that bit up and provide no context whatsoever.
Shirt reveal as well. Yeah, mate. It's just to let you know, it's Bogle number 2 on the back. So I think if I'd have got anything about Wilder, he'd have got upset. Or Ampadu as well. He's got this thing against Ampadu. So I couldn't get him Ampadu. I had to get him Bogle. Sheffield would be bang average without Hamer. Yeah. Right. I wanted to show you this as well. This would make you laugh. So this is Birmingham City. So Birmingham City, I think, are getting. Do we say like a bit above the stations? I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah, they've been above the station since relegation. It's bizarre.
Have a read of that.
Yeah, you know what? I saw this earlier. I saw a Leicester fan tweeting it saying, "Who the hell do they think they are?" But yeah, it's classic sort of like big city club, isn't it? They get relegated. They then storm the league by spending 20 million on a striker. Of course, you're going to storm the league and get well above the stations. Look, don't get me wrong. I think they do well in the Championship next season, and I think they are going to be in the Prem probably in the next 5 years, probably less than that. But they're acting like they're one of the biggest clubs in the country, and obviously they're just miles off that.
My dad can't stand him. Yeah, he's got like an irrational hatred towards Birmingham. It's quite.
Is that recent, or has he had it for a while?
No, he's since I was a kid. He's always had it. Like he thinks they're like the most tin pot club. He's like, how can a city, which is like 3 times the size of Manchester and Leeds, produce that many fans at home? Like what is it, 25,000? He can't. He's like, and then you got the club down the road in Villa, who obviously effectively share the city with them, and they've just got massive support. He's just like, it's like your city that big. How can you be that badly supported where they've got like potholes in the stadium for the for the most of it. He's always like a crap little club.
Yeah, I remember when we played him in the Championship a couple of years ago. The bottom tiers were still covered with the COVID sheets because they weren't selling out. And obviously that year they got relegated, and now all of a sudden they've all come out the woodwork. So that might now sound a bit dated, but yeah, I get it. Like Villa have always obviously been the much bigger club out of that city, and they're the proper club from that city. But yeah, it's an interesting one, that one. Is there any other clubs that you or your dad have got sort of like irrational hatreds on? Because I always love hearing little stories like
that. Yeah, Birmingham's definitely one for my dad. I really grew to, and it's obvious, but it's really stayed with me, and I didn't expect this. I really dislike Derby County badly, but it doesn't really make that. Like, my dad's not bothered, my brother's not bothered, a lot of my mates aren't bothered. But I remember that whole season. I went home and away. I went to every game we played against.
Is that the binoculars thing and Lampard thing and all that sort of stuff?
From that point onwards, and the ironic thing is Bogle was included in that Derby side doing it all as well. But yeah. But I literally from that point onwards. I really can't stand them, mate. Derby County, they're another one. Millwall, I've never had a problem with, really. They're just like it's kind of like a funny little club, really. It's like, just not
got a problem with, but then calls them a funny little club 3 seconds later.
They are a funny little club, but yeah, I got a good support, Millwall, but nah, not really. Birmingham, not my dad, obviously. I've just seen someone in the chat who I was gonna mention their club, but don't worry, mate, I won't do it anymore. I love Liverpool.
Yeah, you'll never walk alone unless you're Trent, of course.
Yeah, YNWA and all that. But yeah, what about you?
Not really. I mean, Liverpool would have been mine, but LFC keep the faces in the chat. And to be fair, that's what it is with Liverpool. Is I actually used to not like them, because I never really liked any other club apart from Burnley, maybe Aki Stanley and the likes of Barcelona. But I proper did like Liverpool and want them to do really well when we were growing up and stuff. But then I went to university and met a lad from Ellesmere Port. And he was a Tranmere fan. And I'm like, oh, I quite like Liverpool. And he drummed it into me for years and years and years about how he hates them and all they're disgusting and all this. And I left uni like hating him for a bit. He's kind of sort of like died down a bit now. I don't really like have an opinion either way. Yeah. The main one for me is probably just all the local ones, but again, you can expect that. But I hear you when it comes to Derby County. For me, the thing with Derby County, I don't hate them. I don't even look out for the results. But the thing that I always find bizarre about Derby County is they think they're like a proper, really big club, and I don't get it. Yeah. That they sing songs about how big they are. Like they sing literally the song is Derby are massive everywhere they go. And then when I went down there recently, it was announced their attendance was something like 25,000. They're all going, hey, what's it like to see a crowd and all this? I'm like, you guys think you're genuinely huge, don't you? So I get that with Derby, but I won't say I hate them. I don't know. Like for me, it's just mainly the local teams, to be honest, more than anything. I'm trying to think. Like recently, I've gone out with I've gone off Coventry recently. I just feel like their fans are very bizarre on Twitter. But then you get real good fans as well, like Glenn from Sky Blue Hub and your mate as well. I've watched some of his stuff recently since he commented on one of your streams. Yeah, he's really good. But I feel like the fans on Twitter as well are a bit of a pain in the arse.
Tom's nailed it. I mean, that's enough of a reason. Do you know what? The only thing is as well with it, maybe that is like a subconscious reason for me, Tom, because every time I go on and I see them like, there's not a lot of logic behind it as well. It was when I tweeted, and I don't normally do this. I mentioned it to Joe, and I don't normally do this with the second tier, and it feels like we're like the second tier hate-along channel here, but it was. I mean,
last time I were on a stream, it was me calling, and now it's you calling him.
It was just when they're like, it feels like when Leeds are always down in the dumps, you've always got that one guy, and he's always there on Twitter getting clipped up and stuff like that. And it's just like he's like, it feels like one of those podcasts where it should be neutral and it ain't neutral at all. So maybe like subconsciously that's why I dislike Derby even more, because I know those two support them, and anytime Leeds are there's a little bit of problems at Ellen Road. They're right on it, and I'm like, yeah. And they always wear every single. You mentioned this about Burnley. They wear every single Championship club's t-shirt apart from Leeds. I've noticed, and you mentioned
they don't wear Burnley as well, and I see them wearing a Blackburn top quite often, which is bizarre. But yeah, I'll leave it this time because I said enough last time, and I think you had to sort of like nip it in the bud. But yeah,
to be fair, we've not slagged them off. We've just said that they've got a little bit of hatred towards, maybe not hatred, they just don't like certain clubs. Sunderland will batter Blades in the fact it'll be a good game. It'll be a good game.
It's going to be a great game, that one. Sunderland have to get there yet. That one's not done, but I do think they do get there.
Yeah, Sunderland do have to get there. Did you find yourself mildly supporting Ipswich 2 this season? You know, it's weird. Like I forget about. I always thought that when Leeds went down, I'd still keep on tabs with the Premier League, and I wouldn't get that invested with the Championship. It's completely gone the other way again. Like I thought, like I now, because I kept in contact with the Championship, but when Leeds were up there for like 3 years, you kind of you lose contact with it a little bit, and then. But now I'm so enthralled with the Championship. I feel like my knowledge on the Championship's gone way up again. My Premier League knowledge is always there because I watch a lot of Premier League football, but it's nowhere what it was when Leeds were up there. So, but it's interesting because at Ipswich, you kind of lose interest when there's no competition there. And with Ipswich, there's no I think Ipswich have done okay this season in terms of like out that 3, but what you can't, what are you supporting? What are you backing? They're on 21 points. You know, what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? It's tough. Yeah. So
I've not really paid too much attention to Prem this year. I don't really think it's been that entertaining. The bottom 3 are all done. You know, Liverpool have run away with it. You know, the battle for Europe's been decent, but and it's good to see some new clubs in there as well, like your Forest have fallen away a little bit, to be fair, but you know they're still going to be in the Europa League. Bournemouth and Fulham were in the conversation. Obviously, Newcastle, I know they've been in it recently, and so Villa, but it's good to see teams upsetting the apple cart, and it's not just the same 5 every single season like it used to be.
It's a crap league, though. Like I think me and you've said it as well. Like we know we're going up, and it's not just because we think we're coming down or whatever. Because I think Leeds can give it a good go, and you'll be thinking the same with Burnley, but. You just know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? You just know what's going to happen every single season. So there's nothing really on it. You know, it's a shame. The Championship's way more exciting, but you have to dine at the top table to get anywhere. And you want to be Villa, you want to be Forest, you want to be, you know, you want to be these sorts of clubs. You want to be Brentford, Brighton, you want to be of that, and Fulham. You don't want to be your Burnley and your Leeds and maybe your Sheffield United or whatever, just bouncing between. And we haven't bounced, to be fair. We're not a yo-yo club. I know Burnley will get the tag of being a yo-yo club because you've kind of gone up and down for years. I think you won the league about 4 times, haven't you? So, yeah.
I mean, it's weird because, like, you can now definitely describe us as a yo-yo club, but I sometimes still see Burnley fans getting the knickers in a twist when somebody says it. It's like, look, we've literally either been promoted or relegated for the last 4 seasons now. That is very likely to be 5 seasons in it, you know, this time next year. We are now at the minute a yo-yo club. The onus is on us now to hopefully turn that yo-yoing into a stable Premier League club. It's got to be difficult, but I feel like people get the knickers in a twist with it because we were in the Premier League for so long, and then we got relegated and promoted. And then everyone was immediately like, oh, that's a yo-yo club then. And we were like, well, no, because we were in the Prem for, 7 seasons in a row, 8 seasons in a row. Yeah. But now, you know, like I said, it's been 4 years of up and down. We are 100% the definition of what Norwich used to be now. We just need to hopefully turn it and stabilise in the Premier League rather than stabilising in the Championship like Norwich have.
Well, mate, I'm gonna keep you on the big screen. I'm gonna get a quick coffee, so you can answer the comment section, pal. And then I'll let you go for your little break.
Well, when you're back, I'll do the same because I could do we. But I probably should have said that on stream. I'll put it in comments. But yeah, interesting. Well, just looking at some of the stats then on screen now. Obviously, I've got the half-time stats on the screen. Interestingly, Bristol City had more possession, but they've only turned it into 4 shots, where Blades have had 8 shots. Blades had 1 shot on target, and obviously that's the goal. Bristol City had 2, so it's interesting. Bristol City have, I agree with what Connor's saying. They've been on top in parts, but they just don't have the quality, do they? They just don't really have the quality to be able to turn it into wins. They might get a draw in this game, and you know they might even win on the night tonight. But yeah, the tie is done, isn't it? Ian Lacroix says it could always be worse. At least we're not Oldham. What happened with Oldham? Aren't they in the playoffs in the National League? I know they got relegated and fell through the leagues, and looking like they could potentially be bouncing back. But Oldham always like a a club that Burnley back in the day were battling with. Obviously, I'm a Burnley fan. I know Connor's now left me on the One Leeds channel, but I am actually a Burnley fan. And we always used to have good battles with Oldham back in the day when we were in lower divisions. Because when I started supporting Burnley, they're actually because I'm old. They're actually what was in now League Two, and then they riz through the leagues. So yeah, they're in the playoffs, I think, and I'm not sure what the situation is with that. If they've already played it, I'm not sure. David Jackson says, in my opinion, Leeds will finish in the top 10. I'm a Sunderland fan, but I've got a sauce. Tell you what, mate, and I'll say this live now on the One Leeds fan channel. You can clip it up and make me look very silly at this time in a year. But if Leeds United finish in the top 10, I will plat shit live on stream. As I have nothing against Leeds at all, but it's going to be very, very difficult for any Championship club getting promoted now to finish in the top 10. Leeds will spend a lot of money, don't get me wrong, and I think they are the most well placed of the three teams coming up when we find out who the third team is. But yeah, finishing in the top 10, mate, I think that's a stretch. Justin says, Joe, what do you think is the best derby in the Championship next season? Well, the best derby in the Championship is Burnley Blackburn, obviously. But next season, what teams? Leicester, Coventry. That's not even that big, is it? Really? Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. If Blades stay down, that's always a big one. Obviously, Swansea, Coventry has been lost. Trying to think of any other potential. Portsmouth, Southampton. It's that one. They've not played for a while, have they? They've not played for a while. Poppy Gamer Girl says, just turn the stream on. Connor's looking more handsome than usual. Weird accent. No, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Yeah, good point. LFC, keep the faith. You've got the East Anglian one in there as well. Obviously, Ipswich against Norwich. That's always a good one. But I think Portsmouth, Southampton for me. Big Girl says, I will not be watching that. I think she's referring to me, what I'll be platting. It'll be a good stream. I'll have to put some pegs on my nose. But yeah, Coventry versus... Yeah, what is it with Coventry? What is it with Coventry? I always stop myself short of going in too deep on Coventry because I know one of Connor's mates is a Coventry fan, but I just don't get it. Their fans always seem to create a rivalry. They've done it recently now with Sunderland. Big Girls, obviously, you'd have had to be suffering them. They've done it with Leeds this season, or last season they did it with Leeds. I can't remember, but they did it with Burnley earlier in the season. Did it with Burnley 2 years ago. Bizarre club. I think what it is with clubs like that, they just don't have a proper out-and-out rival. Like, they hate Leicester. Are not keen on Forest, but like Leicester hate Forest more, Forest hate Leicester more, you know what I mean? So they're just one of them clubs that doesn't have a proper rival. So they just like to create rivalry with everyone. Mackems versus Smoggies, that's decent, but it's not a proper rivalry, isn't it? That's kind of like the Burnley-Preston sort of ilk. Like, we hate all the clubs, but hate them as well, sort of thing. Connor's back. Here he is.
Do you need a wee, mate?
Yes. Can I go for a wee, please, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Right, guys, we are getting on to the second half. If you've not done this with us before, we just have a little manual clock, and we'll just get it going as soon as this second half's about to kick off. It is going to be Bristol City's. It has been a bit of a tepid affair when it comes to Bristol City. A few opportunities, but you'd feel it'd be quite disappointing if you were a Robin for this one. 4-0 down on the night, and it feels like the Blades are going to Wembley. So who's going to join them? That is the question. Sunderland and Coventry, we will be here tomorrow night, don't you worry. And we'll try to get a guest on as well. It's not going to be Joe, but we will try to get a guest on. Connor, best derby in the Championship next season? Ooh, good question, mate. The best derby in the Championship next season? I'd probably say, God, best derby in the Champ. Oh, that's a really good question. Because now Cardiff have gone. It's not Cardiff Swansea. Obviously, it's never going to be Derby Forest again. Wednesday Blades, it's not going to be that, is it? It's a good question. It's not going to be Burnley Blackburn either. It's a really good question. So Leicester are going down. Leicester Birmingham? I know they don't like each other. West Brom Birmingham, maybe? You ever seen Tom say that? Maybe. Coventry hate Luton, do they? It's not really a derby, though, is it? Don't forget to put your hands up, Joe. Said this before. It says, Andre, we could survive at Fulham Stake if Al Hilal come back and throw money at the gaffer. Yeah, exactly. You need Marco Silva to leave. But I tell you what, if they do what, like, let's say Brentford do, and let's say Brighton do, where they've just got 3 back every single time. Sorry, I've just been put off there by the derbies. I forgot about Portsmouth Southampton. Thanks, Jasper. And hello, Jasper. Portsmouth Southampton, that's a good one. Norwich Ipswich, yes. It's a good one. Carl says, you and Joe going to the Ramble bus. Connor, we're not, mate. I think we get our heads caved in. I don't know if me and Joe said it after a drink or whatever, but we said we'd go down there. But I think that's a very bad idea. Imagine if they lose to Sunderland and me and Joe are there. Yeah, I don't think that's a very good idea, to be honest. Wrexham Swansea, good one, Blazed. Is that a derby though? Scott Twine over a free kick here, by the way. Just on the edge of the area. Scott Twine's been poor. Can he do something here? Cooper's giving him a bit of distance on that right hand side. Scott Twine could get a good connection here. He could make it a little bit. Someone did say 4-1 in the chat to Bristol City. They need to score here though if they've got any chance. I don't think they've got a chance. Twine. It's just really bad. He's just, what has happened to him? What has happened to him? Scott Twine. Do you remember when there was like a big thing with him? He just literally just tapped that with no finesse on it, no curve on it, and it's just straight down the middle. Cooper's just simply tipped it over. There's about 10 yards to aim at there for Scott Twine. He's been poor in this game. 2 balls in from corners, which he's missed as well. Is he about to do it? He's done it again. Was that Twine again? Was that Scott Twine?
I think so.
Mate, he just had a free kick as well, and he just hit it straight down Cooper's throat. He's been really poor. Is he on loan from you? What did he sign?
No, they signed him permanently. They was on loan last season, but they've signed him permanently now.
Someone said, what's the best derby? Millwall Charlton, if promoted, good shout. Someone else said Wrexham Swansea. Not a bad shout.
Swansea's a good shout, but that's not a proper derby, is it? It's Port for Saints for me.
Yeah, it's a good shout. I was trying to think, but there's still Norwich and Ipswich. That's another one.
Obviously, you've lost the main Championship derby with Burnley getting promoted.
So to be fair,
you need to find other ones.
There is some good ones.
Pompey Saints will be a cracker. Ipswich Norwich is always decent.
WBA vlog just said WBA versus Wolves, but Wolves aren't going to be in the champ.
Yeah, Wolves won't be in there, mate. Yeah, that's the problem.
Leeds Man U might as well be a derby. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we hate each other, but it's not Championship, is it? Jim will be telling everyone Joe hates Sheffield United if they lost. Oh yeah, they were just saying because me and you, well, we weren't. I don't know if we were thinking about it, but do you remember when we were on stream and Jim was saying it might have been off stream when he said, there's 2 places for you on the bus, and then he made up some excuse afterwards, didn't he? What was it? I can't remember the excuse.
When we agreed to it, he just said, no, what it is, if some Ramblers want it, I'll have to give it to them instead. I'm like, all right, fair. I'm booking a shift at work now, to be honest with you. So even if there's a space available, I probably
some platinum Ramblers. All right, Jim. Platinum Ramblers.
Bristol City.
The old Platinums. Shout out to any of the Platinum Ramblers if you're in there. Reckon we're bigger than Sunderland? Yes. Yes, I do. I think Joe's says Sunderland could be bigger.
I think Sunderland are the biggest team in Championship. I think they get bigger crowds. I think they've won more as well, haven't they? Off the top of my head, Leeds have got a better recent history, which does account for something. And I'm saying this. I realise I'm saying this on the One Leeds fan channel, so I'm going to get castrated. So I'll just shut up now. But
you're not saying it on the One Leeds fan channel. I just said that to you about 50 times.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Well, you tweeted it on the One Leeds Twitter, so I'll get some stick on there. But we did something with the Brother at Arms, didn't we, about it?
I'm actually going to remove. If you are watching on Twitter, everybody, and you are watching on Facebook, I am going to remove that because it is causing some slight confusion. So if you want to come over and watch the rest of this, just bob on over to the Conor McGilligan channel. All right, I will see you in a sec if you come on over. So we're just going to remove that, and then we're going to see a drastic reduction in numbers now, but that's fine. You guys just need to pop on over. It's a good little advertisement anyway, isn't it? So, yeah. But what was I saying? I just think it's... For me, with us and Sunderland, I think Sunderland are a big club, but Sunderland have never been in... Have they ever been in Europe?
I don't know.
No, I don't think they have.
Probably. But I don't know. They've won the FA Cup and stuff, so they've won the league as well, so they probably should have been. Not recently, obviously. I know Leeds got very far in it in the early 2000s. I remember it well.
In Europe. Fair play. Ball played in. Over. God.
Oh, what a shite goal that is. You won't care.
Oh, God.
The Blades have had that were 2 goals from 2 corners. I'm not saying they don't deserve to win the tie because they don't, or even on the night, I think they've been the better side in terms of quality. But
yeah,
that's the difference between the 2 sides, isn't it? That's the difference.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a well-worked corner. It was a nice corner, to be fair. Over, then over again. Hamer hits it. Can he even claim that as his goal? I guess it was probably going on target. Harrison Burrows ball in, over from Brooks. Oh, Jesus. It's 2-0. It's off McCrory. It's the biggest deflection you'll ever see. I think O'Leary had it covered. But it's how bad has this been, Joe?
That's
from them?
That's been on goal. I'm sorry, but that's a massive. I know it's on target, and I don't know what the actual ins and outs. Even if Boston goes in, I don't know what the actual ins and outs are when coming to that. But
it's when it's on target, isn't it? When it's on target,
that will class then as a goal for him. But it should be an own goal. Huge deflection.
Yeah, you could be right. WBA Vlog says, as Leeds fans, do you want to go up? I've got a feeling you go straight back down. Well,
yeah. Not include me in the Leeds fans. WBA Vlog.
Yeah,
nothing against Leeds. One Leeds fan, one Burnley fan.
2 white shirts.
White shirt don't help me, does it?
Yeah. No, at least you're in with the shout, mate. The likelihood is we will go down, but there is also a 10, maybe 15% chance that we'll give it a good go. Who knows? Are you heading to Ireland for the pre-season game that's going to be announced, Connor? I will be, mate. If it does get announced. Yeah.
Is that a bit of ITK knowledge there from DV4?
Yeah. Shout out to you, DV. Jasper says, I'm 16. Someone asked me why, as a Leeds fan, I hate scum. Couldn't answer honestly. It's just in the DNA. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird with them because in my life I've never really seen. I mean, for like 2 decades we didn't play them. But yeah, I've just been brought up to just absolutely despise them. Despise the colour red. Not like Sharp, not like Vodafone. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of all the things.
Well, I won't tell you what colour shorts I'm wearing them.
Yeah, I actually just don't like the colour red, but maybe that's what it is. It's subconscious. Aviva Stadium, Leeds versus AC Milan, 9th of August.
That's a rate friendly. I wish we'd get friendlies like that. We'll play bloody Corinthians, something like that.
DV, can you get me some tickets, mate? If that is the case, mate, I'll be straight there. Ball whipped in, headed on by Naki Wells.
What is that?
We need to talk about Bristol City, Joe. We need to talk about Bristol.
They're awful. They've been awful over these 2 legs. There's been spells where they're on top, as I was saying when you went for a brew. And Bristol City did actually have most possession in the first half.
Yeah.
They've done nothing with it. They just don't have enough quality in their side. Yes, Dickie's missing, and I think their top scorer is actually on the bench.
Yeah.
But there's just not enough quality in the side. And I'm surprised watching this game. Like, if you watch this game and said that Bristol City finished 6th in the Championship, you'd be like, absolutely nowhere. They've not good enough to finish 6th in the Championship, but somehow they have. And they've deserved it over the course of the season. I'm not saying they don't. But based on the evidence on this game, they've been very, very poor.
Do you remember when Norwich got in? Oh my God!
Last season or 2 seasons ago.
Sheffield United are in again. They've just given it away again. Kiefer Moore. Sheffield United could have 6 here if they want. Not what Kiefer Moore's doing there, but they're on the counter attack here. Bristol side, I don't think it's going to come so much, but yeah, I think I tell you the only comparable team I feel are as bad as this lot in the playoffs is Norwich when they got in, like I think it was like last minute under Wagner last season.
Yeah, last season. Then didn't you demolish them in semi?
It just battered them, yeah. It was 4-0, and they just weren't even a playoff. Do you know what I mean? It was just so easy. And it was bizarre, really. But ball played in.
To be honest, this is probably the worst tie in the playoffs I've seen.
It's shocking. It's shocking. Yeah. It's a shame as well because you kind of want it to be like a proper ding dong. Do you know what I mean? Between 2 teams, but this is just terrible.
And again, like you can bring the argument in that obviously the gap between the Premier League and the Championship is getting higher and higher, and I agree it is. But is now a gap appearing in the Championship as well, because Leeds and Burnley have been miles ahead of the rest. Yeah. Sheffield United have been miles ahead of the rest as well, and were with a shout of the top 2 until the last few games. So we shouldn't be surprised that Blades are absolutely battering them, because they've been much the better side over the course of the season, and they've shown that over the last 2 games.
Yeah, as if it's not just the Premier League that we're talking about here in terms of divisions, but like when you look at the trickle down effect of like obviously the parachute payment teams coming down, the divide is just massive in it. I mean, Sheffield United finished 30 points out of Bristol City, and it feels like even in this game it's like 60 points. Like that, we played them, Joe, and it was like two teams from two different leagues. I could not.
Well, what were it? 5-0 you battered them?
I think it was 4, mate, but I swear to God, it could have been. We were better in that game than we were, in my opinion, in the 7-0 over Cardiff and the 6-0 over Stoke. We were better in that game against Bristol City. They just, I don't think they had a shot. It was.
Yeah, no, you're right. I remember doing the weekend review, and they genuinely didn't have a shot, if I remember rightly. But even against us, like we only won the game 1-0 because typical Burnley. You know, we're not attacking, free flowing as much as you guys are. Yeah. But we were miles better than them. We were miles ahead of them, and they've shown it again tonight.
Yeah, shout out to you, David. Apologies, I didn't know you'd been in Europe. Jasper says Bristol City embarrassing, much better with Millwall. Well done, Connor and Joe, for keeping it interesting.
Have we kept it interesting? I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's been difficult, mate.
Yeah, Dave says as well, I think you will find we have the biggest support, not only the Championship, but a lot of Prem teams. Now false about us. No one said there's anything false about you, mate. I just think as Leeds is a...
You've annoyed David, Connor.
Yeah, I think Leeds are a bigger club. I think they're a bigger club than Sunderland. I've always thought it. But Sunderland is still a big club. But yeah, I do think Leeds are a bigger club. But it is what it is. I completely get, like you say, Joe thinks Sunderland are. I think Leeds are. But I always see Leeds in the bracket of like Villa and Everton. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of that bracket of club, but maybe that's deluded. Maybe we're not that style of club anymore.
Yeah, I think that is a stretch. I'd say. Well, I mean, depends like where you put in Newcastle in that, because I think Everton are bigger than Newcastle.
Yeah, I think Everton are bigger than Newcastle as well.
So I think by that logic, you're saying you're bigger than Newcastle.
I don't think Newcastle are big. I don't think they're a big club. I think Newcastle
bigger Sunderland or Newcastle.
Hey, Simon Jordan said we're a bigger club than Newcastle, so there you go.
Simon Jordan, to be fair, is the fountain of all knowledge.
I do think Newcastle are a relatively big club, but I think Newcastle are a big club in Newcastle. That's what I think.
It's similar to Leeds in the sense that it's a one club city, so it obviously really does help.
Think
how big Sheffield, if there was a one city club, if there was one, just one club in Sheffield, how big they could be. Same with, Birmingham.
But in Newcastle Global, I don't think they are. I don't think you go to Sweden and nearly Sweden. You hear of, well, you might do now with Isaac, to be fair, but like
I think last 10 years maybe they become more global.
Yeah, I think they are. That's kind of what I mean. I can go anywhere on the planet, and I'll hear a Leeds fan or I'll see a Leeds shirt. I don't know about Newcastle. I think Newcastle are a big club, but globally, I'm not sure. I think regional and global are two separate. We went up to the Premier League, mate, and Leeds sold. And you might not think this is big, but when you actually narrow it down, this is massive. We were the 6th highest shirt sellers in the Premier League. That is massive when you look at it, really, in terms of stretch. Oh, they're in again. Oh my God, how's he missed?
What is that shot?
Tom Cannon. Sunderland. So what I will say about Sunderland is with the size of the city, they've got incredible support. Sunderland. What I would say, here's some of the Sunderland fans.
Well,
I think Sunderland could be the best supported team in the country because of how big Sunderland is, which isn't big whatsoever. I think the amount...
You say that, it's not tiny. I think it's at least like 300k, isn't it?
Yeah, but in comparison to the cities that we have in the UK...
274. Yeah, obviously it's nothing. It's not nothing compared to Birmingham, Newcastle, and Leeds. I get that, but it's not tiny.
But as well, mate, the socio-economic difference with like a big city like Leeds or Manchester or, it's Sunderland. They get incredible support, in my opinion, for the size of the place. It's very, they're very well supported. Like if you're born in Sunderland, you just live or die by the club, don't you? So
I lived in Sunderland for 18 months, and it's you are right. It's a very, without sounding harsh, it's a very sort of like working class place.
Proper working class.
That's what I loved about it. It's a big Burnley. You know what I mean? It reminded me of Burnley, but bigger. and more going on because it's bigger in a city. So yeah, I do get that. I respect that, and I do agree that they are very hardworking.
Well, here
sorry, I was watching a different game on there, but very hardworking, and I respect the fans that they get.
Here you says we're bigger than Newcastle. There's so many contingencies of Leeds fans here in America. I don't see that's kind of where I'm at. Like where with Newcastle, like I've travelled and you don't see many Geordies. You see, that's kind of where I've always been with it.
There's a running joke though about Geordies, isn't there? They'll always wear the Newcastle shirt. So I do see quite a lot. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't see Leeds fans. I definitely do see a lot of Leeds shirts. I do see Sunderland as well. There are other people in the comments saying I very rarely see Sunderland. I see all three of them sides. You know what? Weirdly enough, I don't see much Everton, but they've not had much to shout about over the last 10 years, so that might be something to do with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in Ireland in it. It's you can't really. None of it's quantifiable really, unless you kind of like Man United.
And another thing as well, none of it really matters. Like it's a thing that fans of big clubs. And I know I say this as a fan of traditionally a smaller club. And it's something that fans of big clubs always like to shout about. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What matters is what happens on the pitch at the end of the day. And you'll always see people saying, like, oh, Bournemouth shouldn't be in the Prem, Brentford shouldn't be in the Prem. Oh, for God's sake, Burnley back in the Prem. They don't deserve to be there. I mean, they do, because what happens on the pitch is the thing that matters.
Oh, nearly three. Nearly three. Goodness me. Yeah, a lot of people.
It's all Blaze now, isn't it?
A lot of people saying it's a drab game. It's just this could be third versus 19th right now.
It could. It has that feel about it.
It's drab.
I've even put Atlanta versus Roma on the screen. That's how desperate I am.
Good lad. How's that looking?
2-1 to Atalanta at the minute.
Up the Gasparini. do you take it up the Gasparini, Joe?
I've been known to, mate. I've been known to.
That's going to get clipped up. Oh, God. Andre says, we have like 400k more followers in Sunderland, which I reckon is an underrated metric. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I've never been one to measure stuff like that. I think that's silly, in my opinion. Burnley have a lot more than Blackburn, for example, and nobody in here, apart from me, would argue that Burnley are anywhere near Blackburn. It helps that we've been in the Premier League and have had the exposure of the Premier League, which is another argument where I bring to the table where I don't think they're as bigger than us as people say they are. But like Watford will have more followers than,
Yeah, it's Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, because of the Prem, yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to win the Europa final, Joe? Is it going to be...
I think United win it. I think United win it. Sorry to say, mate.
You think who win it?
Sorry, the real United. Sorry, I've gone too far there. Is that it now? I've been deleted from the WhatsApp group. Oh shit, I have as well. He's just deleted me. Yeah, I think Man United win it. I think they're both awful, and I think it could genuinely be a game like this where it's just so drab and so boring. I'd like to see Spurs win it because I'd like to see Spurs actually win something. But I think United win it. I don't know. When United have been awful recently. When they've needed to turn it on, they turn it on. I've always referred to United as United, probably because I'm from the Northwest and they're the biggest club around here, arguably the biggest club in the country.
Yeah, thanks for that. As well, if anybody's interested, we have got a video on the channel. If anybody wants to, on the One Leeds fan channel, if anybody wants to check it out from earlier on, it is 5 replacements for Solomon. So there you go, a little plug there. Yeah, I know Jasper. I know I've told him, but we'll just hopefully he's learned about it. But I see clips of bars all over social media when Leeds get promoted. I thought there were pubs in Leeds, but it was Dublin, Tokyo, and the US. Leeds are huge worldwide. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't mean anything, does it? Unless we stay in the Prem. Have you seen any of this stuff with Thogden?
What's he done now? What's he done now?
I just keep seeing the stuff where, when he's at the Barca Madrid game and Barca score, and they're in front of the Madrid fans at the Bernabeu, and he's turning around to the Madrid fans and going, "Calm down, guys."
He did that a few years ago. Was that not Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid? Has he done it again recently in the El Clasico yesterday?
That's Jim's dad.
Is it actually?
No, that's Jimmy's dad. Everybody, if you're looking on the screen now, that is Jimmy's dad. He's like best mates with Chris Kamara.
How's he managed that? And he's wearing a suit. Is he a big deal, Jimmy's dad?
He's like a former scout. Yeah, I think he knows quite a few of them. There you go, Jimmy's dad on screen there.
It'd be even legendary now if it pans to Jimmy.
Oh, it will. Yeah. But what were we talking about? We're talking about something interesting there. Kind of interesting, were we?
Can't remember. Couldn't be that interesting if none of us can remember.
Oh yeah, it's Thogden.
Oh yeah.
And it's brilliant. I just love it. I'll try and find it again. He's like when people keep. I don't know why my mates keep tweeting me. I'll show you on here.
Because he did it earlier in the season. It was it must have been from the earlier game then. Yeah. Right. It's not from the recent game, but yeah, you're right. I have seen it.
It's just football.
He says making a living off football. 2 jaws again. Everyone's buzzing. Oh, 1 jaw. He says making his living off football, traveling the world, watching football, to then turn around and say it's just. They weren't even kicking off. They weren't even that bad. They were just like, oh, for God's sake, yeah, just football, mate. Calm down. Get a grip, mate. I think he gets a bit of a bad rep, to be fair. I quite like some of his content. There's been some stuff that's questionable. Getting sponsorship off Saudi Arabia, for example, stealing a glove off a 5-year-old. But I think there's a reason why he's. You don't remember that?
Well, in Trafford.
He nicked it off. James Trafford give him some gloves, or give some kids some gloves. And he saw the kid walking outside the Reebok with it, or whatever it's called these days. And he's like, oh, he's my brother. Can I have them? He's like, yeah. Because this kid's like just been approached by a famous YouTuber that he probably watches all the time. This kid's then giving him his gloves. And I was like, it's a bit dodgy, that, mate. But his content is decent. I'd love to do what he does, traveling the world, going to all these random games and getting paid for it.
Yeah, I've had one interaction with him, I think, on Instagram ages ago. Don't know why. It was because we're at the Football Content Awards, and he was actually all right. But yeah, someone just said Ellis said he's sound. Yeah,
Ellis is good. I like Ellis, to be fair.
He was all right, Thogden at the time. He's a nice lad, but Ellis is a nice lad as well. They're all nice. Viz is a nice lad as well. All of them in that sort of.
Viz is a top bloke. I love Liam.
All nice lads.
Do you ever remember when Liam and Thogden had a big do, and Thogden did a diss track on Liam? It were hilarious because we were in the Prem and they're in League One, and he's like, "Oh, we're going to see you next season in the Championship." Burnley stayed up, Bolton got relegated to League Two.
Oh God! Oh, there you go. It's I might not. I don't. Oh, there you go, mate. I thought. Well, his caption is. It's quite funny. Calm down, mate. It's just football on Instagram.
Is it actually?
I think he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a reason why he's the top at that sort of like content.
I think he's unfollowed me, or I've got another account. There you go. Not big enough anymore.
He's never followed me, so at least you've had that interaction, mate. You've had that moment.
There you go. Yeah, I'm invited to chat to him now. He's even got a fan page. Do you reckon he's created that himself?
Probably. I know a Burnley lad, and it's not busy. Before anyone says, I know a Burnley lad who's created his own clips channel. Well, he's not said that officially, but he's got less subs than me, and all of a sudden he's got a clips channel. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely you,
mate. Big Al says, I like Neve. Yeah,
Neve's great. She's very she's kind of like the one that the kind of sort of like the content that I like. Like you see a lot of YouTubers who do shouty, screamer. This is my opinion and I'm right, Jimmy. Whereas she's very much like, right, this is my opinion. This is why I think that, and that's a counter argument for it, and that's why I present it that way. She's brilliant, and there's a reason why she gets a lot of very good work, because she's very, very, very good. She is very good.
Arthur says, Leeds champions, I'm still celebrating. Good lad, Arthur. I still think I'm like 2 weeks strong.
Yeah, that liver's going to be hanging on by a thread, mate, if you don't stop soon.
Hanging on. Hey, mate, how's it going? Reckon we get Buendia? No, I do not think we get Buendia now. Sheffield United come forward here. Ty Campbell. Just end the game. Oh, Callum O'Hare. I don't know. O'Hare. Still, oh my God, it's just shooting practice this now, isn't it?
Yeah. Great shout there by Evan in the comments. James Alcott, I think he's great, by the way. Can't believe we've not mentioned him yet. He's another one who sits there and does it all properly. He gets the iPad out, looks at the formation and things like that. He's very good. He's Jake. I think I've been on his channel once, actually. I think he follows me.
I have too. Yeah, I've been in this channel. I said, that's it. Well, so I put a tweet out. And I don't think he liked it. Or I don't know. I think I knocked him off a little bit with it. And it was basically at the playoff final. I don't know if you know this, but at the playoff final. Wait, let's see where he is. Yeah, this is it. So I sent him a message because he sent me something back on Twitter, which is fair play. But he basically came out with, it might have been Flav who was at the overlap, and Flav's a good lad.
Yeah, Flav's his mate, innit?
But I think they came out and they started talking, and it just didn't work. Basically, Leeds were getting beat at the time. And they started like talking about Leeds on the pitch, but it was kind of like really YouTubey, and it just didn't work. It was like, go onto this page if you want to follow this. And if Leeds fans were there on the day, you know how bad it was at the playoff final, and they were just there at halftime. Leeds fans were just booing him.
Yeah, actually, that's brilliant.
And I just said, like, sorry if that post offended you, and he just went, mate, don't worry about it. It wasn't my decision. I don't think he basically wanted to go on at half.
What did you put something out saying I don't think it worked? Basically,
I put something out on Twitter like this was. It wasn't at James, but it was like at Wembley or like the Football League for doing it. I was like, I cannot believe they've let like them go on the pitch, and they just took pelters at half time. I was like, it's just, like normally you'll have like a competition at half time or something, or you'll have like I don't know, like lads spinning around and shooting at a goal or whatever.
Yeah.
Just had these two YouTubers coming on and talking about like, I don't know, it's some event that they're doing in the future, and if you want to get your tickets or whatever. And I think he was quite embarrassed by it, and I get it. I completely get it, because you would be, wouldn't you? I think he was like, oh, it wasn't my decision or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, but he's brilliant, James, isn't he? He's excellent.
Yeah, he's really, really good. And again, I always feel like these types of people are the one that get the good gigs. Like they'll do a lot of stuff for Sky Sports and stuff. Like the channels might not be as good as big, should I say, as the likes of Goldbridge and AFTV, but they get these gigs at Sky Sports and BBC because they present the stuff in a proper way. And I always look up to the creators like that, because that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. And that's that similar sort of thing. I know some Leeds fans might have watched the weekend review, that I just try and look at, the stuff that Burnley have done, Leeds have done, Blades have done over the last week, and sort of like present it with an unbiased sort of like way. So yeah, I love stuff like that. And Callum Fowler as well. A lot of people are mentioning him in the comments. He's another one. He's still a little bit smaller compared to sort of like the ones that we're mentioning, but I think he'll get there. Definitely. He's brilliant. I was watching his. I love him though, because he's great. He's proper funny. And he wrote that Green King thing that we did, didn't he? Weren't he as well? So we got chatting to him afterwards. And I've not met him before, and that was the first time I'd met him. So I do
big
like
lad, isn't he? Do you remember how tall he was? He's about 6'3", wasn't he?
Massive. I mean, I'm not the tallest guy in the world. So I remember seeing him like, but hell, he's absolutely huge. But yeah, he's great. He's great.
He's a tall lad. Yeah, Callum's decent. He always gets a little Cheshire. I went on and gave him a donation the other day, and he's like, "Oh, here he is, one Leeds fan channel." He's like, "Cheers for donation, but you're coming back down." Bastard. Corner A, Sheffield United.
Here we are, 3-0. Another corner, boring.
No.
Poor header. Poor clearance. Sorry.
Smith is good. Love his match reviews. Never watched him actually. I'm aware of him. I've just never watched him.
Who's that?
Smith. I think he's one of the originals. I think he did like one of the football fan bits. Sorry, the football teams. Palmer's.
Yeah.
And there was what you smirking at?
I wanted to ask you something that I think will be controversial, but you started talking about something, so I stopped myself. Thoughts on Rory Jennings?
Rory, someone who's been. I saw a Newcastle fan who I've done stuff with before. He's called Toon Reviews. He's a really good lad. He just did like it was like a 20-25 minute video just slacking him off today, and it did really well for views. It was on like 6K views in like an hour. I think Rory's like similar to Thogden. He's very good. I like Rory. The only reason I like Rory is because he knows what he's doing, and he's very smart at doing it as 100%. Well. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's going to get clipped, but he's smart enough. I think he just disassociates from the internet, mate. To be honest, he'll say something, and he'll know it's going to get somewhere. Yeah, and he then just clicks off.
100%. I mean, I think me and you have both done stuff with the overlap before. I've done it once when he was on there, and I actually really liked him. Not many of the creators, the bigger creators, will come up to you and say, "Hello, like, what's your name?" Or I'm sat there in a Burnley shirt. They've never seen me before. He'd come up. He's like, "All right, mate, Burnley." Oh, he's chatting to me, and when he's talking off camera, he's so that he says a lot of stuff where you're like, yeah, he's spot on there. But then as soon as the camera's rolling and stuff, not so much on the overlap. Ooh, over the bar. Just some of the stuff on YouTube, I'm like, he doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe what he's saying. And just going onto what you say there, he's very good at what he does. He knows that it's going to get clipped and it's going to go everywhere.
We could, especially if I wanted to, and I wanted to be like that guy as the Leeds fan base, I could very, very easily create something which is just going to be really controversial and get clicks. But I just couldn't.
Yeah, it's not me that. I'd rather have my dignity than do that.
It's like it's not like Rory doesn't, but there's no way he believes like the things. I'm happy with being in my own lane and just trying to say things I actually believe in, so I can back. I always think if you're saying some things that you don't actually believe, how in a little debate could you back it up? How could you? Exactly. If someone called you,
he's good at doing it, and that's what I like about him. I listen to him on TalkSport and stuff all the time when he's on me. I genuinely really like his stuff, but that's why I said I thought it'd be controversial. Because I know most people don't like him.
No, I quite like him. I like him. I think he's good. I think he's good at what he does. I'll listen to him
as well. We're getting asked about all creators now.
He's a good talker.
Yeah, he's really good.
Go on, then. Who we're going to talk about next?
Tom Garrett, says Louis Dickinson.
Yeah, I like Tom Garrett. Speaks a lot of sense. Knows football very, very well. If you listen to Tom Garrett, you'll learn something. That's why I like him. I think he reads football really well. I don't normally see him, and from my perspective, I don't see he misses a lot. Some things he does, obviously, but I think he's good. I think he's really, really good.
Another comment that I wanted to ask you on from Andre, best Leeds United pod. He says square ball, surely. Hold on a second, surely it's Conor McGilligan. You put your stuff out as podcast now, don't you?
Now we are a podcast, mate.
There you go. Surely it's Conor.
I'll hear no more. I'll hear no more bigging up of others. No, they are excellent, obviously. Oh, great save by Cooper.
Best keeper in the world.
Best keeper ever. Thoughts on Spencer FC? Spencer's good.
I don't think I've ever watched any of their stuff. His stuff, sorry.
What do you think of Adam Pearson? I don't know who he is.
Adam Pearson, that's that Newcastle lad.
Who's that?
That young Newcastle lad. He's quite divisive. He's like a young Newcastle lad. Newcastle fans themselves hate him, but I think he gets a lot of unnecessary grief. But he is quite divisive.
Is he like the Newcastle Thogden?
Basically, yeah. There's he can do some stuff that's a little bit weird sometimes. Like it's he was doing a video outside a ground once, and someone walked past and shouted something at him. And as they're walking away, he's like, yeah, walk away. Like he's heard him. And he's just like, you don't help yourself with stuff like that, mate.
Yeah. If he knows what's, well, he might not want to do this, but he could. If he wants to kind of go down the Thogden route, he probably could do. I think there's a line for it, definitely, an avenue.
Yeah. Under the Cosh is a good shout as well. That's great.
Yeah.
Under the Cosh is fantastic. I'd love to do something like that.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that they're all ex-pros, the pros are more likely to open up to people like that rather than people like me and you. They feel like more at ease with them sort of people, and that's fine. I completely get it. I'd love to be able to do stuff like that. Yeah, contact is great.
Contacts. Yeah, that's what it is. It's contacts as well. Yeah. Harry Cornick. What's happened to him? Why is he not? It's mad how he's not starting, isn't it? Harry Cornick. Do you remember he was at?
Sorry, I thought you were about a creator then. I misheard you.
But why is Naki Wells starting ahead of him? I mean, I know he's not prolific, but chance.
I think he's their leading goal scorer this year, though, isn't he? Ooh, should be three.
Should be three, yeah. Missed some chances, aren't they, Blades?
Yeah, to say that Bristol City did start and were probably the better side for the first 30 minutes without having any real quality, this could easily now be 4 or 5 no Blades.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, he's off. Callum O'Hare's a weird like sort of conundrum. I had a look earlier on. I was saying that he's going to be the key player, but I had a look at his like assists. I think he's got like 3 assists all season.
Yeah, I'm not sure he makes a step up to the Prem. I'm not.
No way.
He might be far. He's a very good player technically, but obviously going back to some of the players you were talking about earlier on the Leeds perspective, I think he's another one that's probably a little bit too lightweight.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a Bangladesh fan in here saying Hamza Chowdhury. Yeah, shout out to him. Don't really know what to say on Hamza Chowdhury, to be honest.
Shout out to him. Jacob Horsfall is very decent, Charlie. I like Jacob. Obviously a Burnley fan. Met him at Leeds away, actually. Good lad is Jacob. Used to send videos into Turfcast when he was a lot smaller, but he's too big time for me now, unfortunately. But he's a really good lad, is Jacob. Love him.
Is he the one with a Geordie accent?
Yeah, he's from Sunderland. But he's a Burnley fan. I think his dad's from the Burnley area. But yeah, he's very similar to like Vizza these days, but kind of like up and coming and mainly focuses on football. Whereas every now and then you'll see Vizza do like a video about himself or a video about his personal life and stuff.
See him a lot. Just they seem to just start on TikTok a lot of the time, don't they?
Yeah, I think that's the thing I've done wrong. I've started on YouTube and now I'm like, I should probably do TikTok as well, and it's not really translating.
Yeah, you kind of need to, but that's the thing. You need to be like Callum's quite controversial. I think Jacob can be. I think Jacob plays into the bigger clubs. I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Jacob knows what he's doing. That he's from Sunderland. Like he will understand the difference between the Sunderland fan base and the Burnley fan base based on these experiences alone.
Well, it's like every time I see him as well, he's saying very, very nice things about Leeds, and I'm like, you know what you're doing, mate?
Yeah,
like, fair play.
Mate, don't get me wrong. Like that's why I started doing the weekend review. 3-0.
3-0. Good goal, that. Good goal.
Yeah. Oh, and it's Callum O'Hare. Just as we were saying, he's not good enough for the Prem.
Callum O'Hare. Jesus Christ.
Another one.
That's me, blood. What a finish, yeah?
He's literally just said that as well. 100% he's just said that.
Yeah. God, 6-0.
What a Bristol City have to be the worst side to ever finish in the playoffs.
Good Lord. I mean, just the defending. I mean, is that Hayden Robb? Who was just followed? I mean, he's just been completely bamboozled by that step over. Look at this. He's been completely...
It's a good bit of play, though, to be fair.
Yeah. Who's following O'Hare in the box as well, by the way? Is there anyone near him, like 5 yards near him?
No.
It's Burrows again. No. Burrows has been good in these 2 legs, to be fair. He's absolutely destroyed Bristol City this year, Burrows. He's killed them. Yeah, it's a right result, that. To be fair, you got to say that to Sheffield as well. It's a good result.
Yeah, they've been head and shoulders above Blades. Head and shoulders.
But yeah, we've got the Blues. We've got our first Chef Wednesday fan in of the evening. Can't even sell out at 3-0 up. It's embarrassing.
Do you reckon they'll sell out Wembley? They should do.
Sheffield. And Sunderland definitely will. I think we're aware of that. I think so. I don't know, though. I don't know.
Not to bring it up, but obviously we played them in the playoff final in 2009. They sold out then.
Yeah.
So I would imagine they'll sell out again.
Yeah, it's a weird one with Sheffield. I don't really know what's been going on. Obviously, there's been a few documented ones that haven't sold out. They sold like 6,000 in the cup, didn't they? For that home game. But against us, there was patches all over the stadium, and like Sheffield United Leeds, and at the time it was obviously a massive fixture. I don't know. But you know, I don't know. Sheffield United fans will let me know if it's been a bit absent in the comment section. But I've seen some bits online that it's not always been. You know, the attendances haven't been great this season for whatever reason. I don't really know why.
Yeah, that is bizarre, especially when they're having such a good season.
Yeah. Oh, Bristol.
I've always felt like they've sold out Bramall Lane pretty much every week, but I've not looked into it. It's just something I've imagined rather than looking into it. Yeah, I don't recall any patches when we went there on Boxing Day, but it's Boxing Day. You know what I mean?
Carl says they're all at home watching the Ramble.
They probably are, to be fair.
Yeah.
Massive now.
Streams enough. I think
I can't believe he's got someone else to do it for him while he's on match as well.
Poor lad. Jasper says, flipping heck, massive spaces whenever I see Wendy's. Yeah. I think I've seen
Jimmy's doing a 90 after 90 at 11 o'clock. That's dedication, to be fair.
It is, yeah. His missus must hate him.
Oh, 100%.
Jimmy,
no way I got away with it.
No. I've had to be careful last couple of days as well. I said you bullied me on here, so
Yeah, blame it on me.
Evan says, who are both your favourite players you ever watched? I've got 3.
Do they have to be playing for Leeds and Burnley, or can they be anyone?
Yeah, we could do two questions, couldn't we? So favourite ever player I've seen is Messi. Messi was
for me. I love him. I hate it how some people try and say Ronaldo.
Messi.
He's so good. That final. Oh,
there's never any. I used to argue with, like, even when Ronaldo was at his pomp, he was nowhere near Messi. Nowhere near Messi.
No way. The way I always describe it is Messi is technically brilliant. He's just like the best player ever to exist, in my opinion, in terms of technical ability. Whereas Ronaldo is good, but he works hard, and he's probably more of a hard. I'm not saying that Messi doesn't work hard. Of course he does. But I feel like Ronaldo works harder to get to that level, whereas Messi's just naturally that level.
It's the gift, isn't it? It's the gift, and it says, like, my old man's watched all of them, and he just said Messi's the best ever. He said Maradona was good, but he couldn't use his weak foot as well as Messi could. Messi was just when, like, the goals that he'd score. Oh my God, I don't think I've ever made noises. I don't think my girlfriend's ever made me like make noises like when I used to watch Messi. Honestly, it's true. It's true. When I used to watch Messi play football, oh my God, what a player! Yeah,
that final will always stand out in my head.
Yeah. Oh, what a player! Oh, if I could just watch him again, just in a Champions League game when he was.
I'd love to. I've never actually watched him live, and that's one of my only regrets. I've never seen him play live in person.
Mike's just gone personal. Thing is, Mike, he was a player though, mate. Absolute player. What about for club then? So I've got 3. Kewell, Viduka, and Rafinha.
Rafinha's a shout.
I would go. I think Harry Kewell at his pomp was literally world class. At Harry Kewell's pomp, he was unbelievable. He was untouchable. So I think Kewell, I would say favourite was Viduka, I think, but quality wise, I think it's between Rafinha and Kewell, but probably Rafinha just.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Even I liked watching Rafinha. We're unfortunate that he was at Leeds and ultimately ended up sending us down that season with how good he was.
Yeah.
But a great player. And I've got a massive soft spot for Barcelona. If I had to choose a second team, it would be Barcelona. And obviously he's there now. And I love watching him. For me, in terms of Burnley players, growing up, probably David Ayres. Loved him. He was my favourite player growing up. Then you've got Andy Payton as well, when I was sort of like a little bit older. But the player that I've most enjoyed watching, as Jack says there, he's just beat me to it, is Stephen Defoe. Like, I've got a shirt signed behind me that the Redmond shirt is on. I absolutely love Stephen Defoe. He was head and shoulders the best player in terms of quality that we've ever seen playing for Burnley. Another shout has to be Robbie Blake. Absolute magician.
Oh, Robbie Blake. We had Robbie Blake.
Yeah, well, you had him for like a year and a half, and I always remember him scoring a free kick at Ellen Road against us, and all the Leeds fans nicking the Robbie Blake chant against us. And I was like 14, and I was spitting. I was absolutely fuming. My head was on Mars. Who do they think they are singing that song about our player?
Is he a manager now, Stephen Defoe?
He was, but I'm not sure if he's still in employment.
Yeah. You got him from I remember you getting him from Belgium, didn't you? You got his right fee as well.
Yeah. Well, he's had a lot of injuries, hasn't he?
People asking me, but not Mark Rocker. No, it wasn't. Not Mark Rocker. No, what a player though. Milk says wrong Defoe. Yeah, well, Jermaine. Roy, mate, do you not remember this though? When like Ray Hudson, if you go, do you know the Geordie commentator when he'd be like, Messi's like a delectable hot chocolate on a cold afternoon. He just described Messi in all of these different ways. I'll have to link it. I cannot believe you've never heard of it.
What's that?
Unbelievable.
One, and I know this commentator divides opinion, but in my opinion, the greatest ever bit of commentary was from Peter Drury after that final. After Messi won that final in Qatar, that little boy from Refario, fantastic. And I get sometimes when he's writing the eulogy on Burnley 0, Sunderland 0, it's a bit much, but it fit perfectly for that final.
Yeah, I used to like Peter Drury, but he does my head in now. The best commentator now for me is Daniel Mann. Daniel Mann's unbelievable. You know, the Championship.
Yeah,
I think Daniel Mann. Do you know why he's good?
Is he the one that just lets the crowd noise breathe?
Every time he just lets like the team will score, and then he gives it like 8 seconds. You can hear the crowd going mental, and then he just comes in with some like absolute hammer blow line. He's brilliant, Daniel Mann.
Yeah,
he's very, very good. He's got the voice for it as well.
Mark Wilson on TalkSport, former what's the word? Former colleague of mine when I worked at a radio station. Love hearing Mark, and he's absolutely fantastic. I want to give a shout out to Mark, a Bradford fan as well. Actually, I think he's from sort of like West Yorkshire.
Who's the Burnley guy who does the? By the way, it's full time. We're just talking about other things.
Yeah, no one cares anymore, mate. No one cares.
Who's the Burnley one who does the thing? He's doing it with like Jordan North before. Like, is it Burnley TV or whatever it is? Do you like the older guy? He's on it.
Phil Bird.
Yeah,
who does Claret's TV.
Talks like this.
Yeah, I think that's Phil. I saw Phil not long ago, actually, up Townley, which is a local park. And I'm like, all right, Phil. And he's like, hi. And I rate it with just a very bizarre interaction.
R9 in his prime, the only player who, as far as natural talent goes, rivals Messi. If not for his injuries, he could be up there in the conversation.
Yeah. R9. I had some R9 boots when I was younger, which might not sound ridiculous, but I played fullback. So I was there, this 11-year-old fullback with these grey and orange and what were they? Grey, blue, and yellow R9 boots. Absolute beautiful football boots they were.
Yeah, if you missed that R9, you need to go watch some videos of him. What a player!
Definitely.
Right, well, that's it. Sorry, we've not spoken that much about the game.
I guess to talk about. Jimmy's rushing home now to do his 90 after 90. I don't know how far he lives away from Bramall Lane, but he's got an hour to get home.
Welcome, Platinum Bramblers. Unbelievable performance. We're going to win the Premier League.
What is happening, Blades? That Blade is going to be... I always just skip past the first 10 seconds of that. I'm like, it's too loud, Jimmy. I'm watching it in bed.
Yeah, chill out. Right, yeah. Credit to Bristol City fans. There they are. What a dire display they've been given, to be fair to them. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens to them next season. But that is the Blades in the playoff final. Congratulations to them.
Well done,
Joe, thank you for joining us on this one, mate. And I'm sure we'll see you at some point soon. We will be doing the Cov, the battle lines, but we'll be doing Cov and Sunderland tomorrow as well. Sunderland and Cov. Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in a bit. Cheers.
Goodbye.